This beautiful woman is in a video rental store, arguing with a young man over the last copy of an adult film on DVD. The store owner looks them both up and down, and finally asks the woman for her ID. She looks underage, after all. The woman is thrilled. Her whole purpose in coming to the video store was to test if her disguise was convincing. In reality, she is 35 years old. In 1997, South Korea is plunged into the chaos of the IMF financial crisis. The world is undergoing exciting, yet uncertain changes. This year, Hong Gyumbo's life is also about to change dramatically. Gyumbo works as an investigator in the Capital Market Investigation Unit at the Korea Securities Supervisory Board. She is decisive, sharp, and efficient, always managing to bring financial criminals to justice through clever means. Her colleagues have nicknamed her the Witch of Yeouido. Recently, Gyumbo successfully brought down a chairman involved in financial fraud and was promoted to team leader as a result. On her very first day as team leader, she sets an ambitious goal: to uncover the slush fund of Hanmin Securities. Hanmin Securities is one of the top securities firms in South Korea. Gyumbo's investigation reveals that Hanmin Securities is suspected of manipulating stock prices and creating illegal slush funds, harming countless investors. Ambitious and determined, she resolves to join forces with the prosecution to wipe out these predators driven by greed. However, after hearing Gyumbo's report, the prosecution claims a lack of evidence and tells her to come back with concrete proof before they can launch an investigation. Gyumbo's ambition is stalled at the very first step, but that night, a mysterious informant codenamed Little Y sends her an email. Little Y tells Gyumbo they have the accounting ledgers proving Hanmin Securities' corruption. Gyumbo replies, requesting an in-person meeting. When they meet, however, the person who shows up isn't Little Y. It's the second in command at Hanmin Securities, Director Kang, the chairman's son. To Gyumbo's surprise, Director Kang offers to provide her with the company's internal slush fund ledgers. It turns out that although he is the chairman's son, Director Kang disapproves of his father's methods and despises crime and corruption. To correct the company's wrongdoings, he explains that he and Little Y are working together to compile the ledgers and plan to secretly report them. If Gyumbo gets her hands on the ledgers, she can trace the flow of funds and uncover the masterminds behind the corruption. Gyumbo chooses to trust Director Kang and agrees to collaborate. As a token of goodwill, Director Kang gives her detailed information on the internal fund flows at Hanmin Securities, including payment vouchers and foreign exchange receipts, exactly the kind of evidence the prosecution needs. Armed with this strong evidence, Gyumbo successfully obtains a seizure and search warrant from the prosecution. That same night, Director Kang meets with Gyumbo a second time and tells her where to find the secret ledgers. She just needs to follow his directions during the upcoming search. In the shadows, a mysterious figure secretly photographs their meeting. Soon, the chairman learns about the impending seizure and search, which is only 3 hours away. Furious to discover that his son, Director Kang, knew about it beforehand, he demands that Kang be contacted immediately. The chairman's grandson calls Director Kang, but the police answer instead. It turns out Director Kang has just been killed in a traffic accident. With Director Kang dead, Gyumbo's investigation hits a dead end. To make matters worse, among the evidence seized during the raid, the crucial secret slush fund ledgers have mysteriously disappeared. Furthermore, Director Kang's death turns public opinion against the prosecution's investigation. Under pressure, the prosecution backs down and orders the Securities Supervisory Board to suspend the search. A colleague who holds a grudge against Gyumbo reports to the prosecution that she had been in secret contact with Director Kang, suggesting this may have led to his elimination by internal forces. The prosecution holds Gyumbo responsible. She is demoted, suspended from duty, and her team leader position is taken by the same colleague. Dejected, Gyumbo goes to the fried chicken shop her parents run. Her parents, however, are thrilled to hear about her career setback. They eagerly try to set her up on blind dates, hoping their daughter will finally leave the working world and start a family. But marriage is the last thing on Gyumbo's mind. That night, walking down the street with some kimchi her parents gave her, Gyumbo is suddenly attacked and robbed. The assailant is aggressive and warns her not to get too cocky next time. Fortunately, Gyumbo knows a little self-defense and isn't hurt. Around the same time, the prosecutor handling the case is also assaulted and left injured on the roadside. The next day, Gyumbo's section chief visits the prosecutor in the hospital. Both the chief and Gyumbo are certain the attacks were orchestrated by Hanmin Securities. It's a clear warning. If Gyumbo persists with the investigation, things will get much worse. However, This only convinces the section chief that Hanmin Securities must be hiding serious illegal activities. Since an overt investigation is now impossible, he comes up with an idea. He suggests Yeouido go undercover and infiltrate Hanmin Securities as a regular employee. As he speaks, the chief pulls out a recruitment flyer from Hanmin Securities aimed at high school graduates. This undercover operation will be kept secret from both the Securities Supervisory Board and the prosecution, just between the two of them. Yeouido flatly refuses. She is a highly educated woman who has fought her way through Yeouido for 10 years. Pretending to be a high school graduate, acting like a clueless newbie? No way. But the section chief is persistent. In the days that follow, he keeps finding excuses to show Yeouido the Hanmin Securities recruitment flyer, wherever they are. Yeouido is increasingly annoyed. Seeing her resistance, the chief changes tactics. He pretends to back off, saying sarcastically that Yeouido is 35 now, and no one would ever believe she's a fresh-faced 20-something. It works. Yeouido takes the bait, insisting she's famous for her youthful looks. Despite this, she still has no intention of agreeing to his plan. Starting now, she's going to use her vacation days. But shortly after her vacation begins, something happens that changes her mind completely. Chairman Kang, of the Hanmin Securities Group, holds a press conference. In front of the cameras, he puts on a righteous face, telling the media he's just a grieving father who lost his son and has never done anything illegal in his life. He also brings up an incident from 9 years ago, claiming it was also slander against Hanmin Securities. The chairman's words transport Yeouido back 9 years. That past event is deeply connected to her. Thinking about that painful past and witnessing the chairman's hypocrisy and shamelessness, Yeouido finally makes a decision. She agrees to the section chief's undercover plan. She vows to find the informant Little Y within 3 months, obtain the secret ledgers, and ensure the tragedy of 9 years ago is not repeated. To disguise herself as a woman in her early 20s, Yeouido's first step is to transform her appearance. She goes to see her younger sister, a hip-hop fanatic obsessed with fashion. Yeouido hands her sister some money and tells her to do whatever it takes to give her a makeover and a younger style. Her sister takes her to a hair salon, instructing the stylist to change her hairstyle and do a full makeover. After the whole process, Yeouido emerges with a short bob haircut, a blue polka dot headband, and star print baggy jeans. She is transformed into a vibrant young woman. Later, following her sister's instructions, Yeouido goes to the video rental store. Only if the owner asks for her ID will she have officially passed the age test. At the video store, she encounters a handsome young man. He is drawn to her, but they end up arguing over the same adult film DVD. The owner looks them both over and finally asks Yeouido for her ID. Yeouido is overjoyed. Her disguise worked. Smiling, she lets the man have the DVD. Next, Yeouido takes the Hanmin Securities recruitment exam for high school graduates. As expected, she gets the highest score. However, during the subsequent interview, she isn't well received. The interviewers find her too smart. On the written test, she got only one question wrong. Yeouido points out, however, that she didn't get it wrong, the question itself was wrong. The interviewers, all senior Hanmin Securities executives, check and realize she is correct. A few days later, Yeouido checks her application status. She has been accepted by Hanmin Securities. That day, the section chief gives her a file containing a list of company executives who were close to Director Kang. The informant, Little Y, might be among them. He also arranges her accommodation at a sole dormitory for single female employees. Yeouido moves in and meets her 3 roommates. Among them is Apple Uni, who scored last on the written exam and is assigned to the same room. But the roommate Yeouido is most interested in is Assistant Co. Assistant Co was Director Kang's personal secretary. Yeouido believes she might know who Little Y is. To her surprise, when they meet, Assistant Co stares at her curiously and says she looks familiar. A beautiful investigator goes undercover, concealing her identity to infiltrate a securities company. Unexpectedly, she makes a discovery. Her ex-boyfriend, who knows her well, also works at the same company. To avoid running into her ex, the beautiful woman racks her brains for a way. Jin Bao disguises herself as a 20-year-old girl and joins Hanmin Securities. On her first day of Rujur, she meets her 3 roommates. One of the roommates, Secretary Gao, feels like she has seen Jin Bao somewhere before. Jin Bao is panicking. Luckily, at the critical moment, the lowest scoring roommate, Sister Apple, tells Secretary Gao that Jin Bao was ranked first in the written exam. They probably met during the interview. Following her younger sister's advice, Jin Bao, who is hiding her age, deliberately speaks in a squeaky, cutesy voice. Fortunately, Secretary Gao doesn't see through the disguise. Then the three roommates are asked to decide who wants to share a room with whom. Jin Bao immediately raises her hand. Ignoring Secretary Gao's objection, she moves her luggage in herself because she must get close to this woman. Before Director Jiang died in a car accident, Secretary Gao was the director's chief secretary. To uncover the identity of the informant, Xiao Ye, and find the secret ledger, Secretary Gao is the best breakthrough point. After moving into the same room, Jin Bao deliberately tries to make small talk with Secretary Gao to get close to her. Mentioning a poster stuck on Secretary Gao's wall, Secretary Gao tells Jin Bao that it's a beach in Los Angeles, USA, also her dream destination. Jin Bao secretly notes down Secretary Gao's preferences in her notebook. To successfully go undercover, she must pay attention to every detail. The next day is the first day of work. Jin Bao and her colleagues participate in training. Everyone is given a motivational book and a set of employee uniforms. After changing into the uniform, Jin Bao buys lunch, trying to bribe Secretary Gao, but overhears Secretary Gao arguing with some new junior colleagues. The juniors, graduates of four-year universities, look down on Secretary Gao, who graduated from commercial high school, and even slander her, calling her the late director Jiang's lover. Unable to stand it, Secretary Gao starts fighting with the juniors on the spot. Jin Bao quickly takes sides, helping Secretary Gao brawl with the juniors. 3 against 2, Secretary Gao is at a disadvantage. Jin Bao is even beaten to the ground. The junior colleagues swagger away triumphantly. Even so, Secretary Gao shows no gratitude towards Jin Bao for helping her. Instead, she advises her not to meddle in others' business. The new employee assignment announcement is posted. Jin Bao is assigned to the Crisis Management Department. The department head is a young man, a Lang. Jin Bao remembers that A Lang was the one in the video store the day before yesterday, who competed with her for that explicit DVD. To conceal her age, Jin Bao pulls out various items from her bag, all of them pink, without exception. This is another age-reducing trick her sister taught her. Later in the evening, employees attend the new president's inauguration ceremony. Seeing the name of the new president on the banner, Jin Bao is momentarily stunned. Amidst applause that isn't exactly harmonious, the new president, Ding Yu, steps onto the stage. Seeing Ding Yu, Jin Bao is stunned again. It really is the person she thought it was. When meeting privately with a section chief from the Securities Supervisory Service, Jin Bao mentions Ding Yu. If she had known earlier that Ding Yu was the newly appointed president, she would never have agreed to this undercover mission. It turns out that she and Ding Yu are not just close school alumni and former colleagues, but also former lovers. 12 years ago, it was Ding Yu who informed Jin Bao of the good news that both had been accepted by the Securities Supervisory Service. They were deeply in love back then, encouraging each other's dreams. After joining the service, Ding Yu appeared professional on the surface, but always showed his love for Jin Bao in subtle details. Now, all that is in the past. Jin Bao worries about running into her ex-boyfriend at Hanmin Securities. The section chief comforts her, arguing that as a low-level employee, the probability of Jin Bao encountering the president is extremely low. Jin Bao also complains to the section chief about the department she's in. She has already found out that department head Lang is actually someone with connections. The chairman is Lang's grandfather. Lang's father, also the chairman's son-in-law, is also in the company's management. But based on Jin Bao's observations over the past few days, Lang is just an idle, chaebol son who spends all his time immersed in movies. As for the two senior colleagues, one treats the office like a manga rental shop, and the other does no real work, spending his days writing code. That being said, in reality, the calm at Hanmin Securities is only on the surface. After Director Jiang, the chairman's son and primary heir, passed away, the chairman is considering the next successor. So privately, the chairman instructs his subordinate, Director Song, to take care of the new employee, Sister Apple. It turns out that Sister Apple's identity is also not simple. She is the chairman's daughter and Director Jiang's half-sister. At the same time, the chairman talks to the new president, Ding Yu, instructing him to mentor his incompetent grandson, Lang. Clearly, regarding the choice of successor, the chairman is wavering between his daughter and his grandson. Jin Bao is secretly observing and probing everything about the company. During a department dinner, Jin Bao hears some significant news. It's said that Secretary Gao will soon be fired, because a new president naturally wants to appoint a new secretary. Jin Bao also learns that the one about to be promoted to the new president's secretary is actually herself, simply because her interview performance was so outstanding. To keep her job, Secretary Gao is trying every way to please the new president, Ding Yu, hoping the president will give her a chance to prove her experience and ability. Ding Yu coldly rejects Secretary Gao's plea. He doesn't plan to interfere with the HR department's arrangements. Seeing that she will be dismissed next week, Secretary Gao can't help but secretly cry in the dormitory. Witnessing this scene, Jin Bao realizes that she and Secretary Gao must stand on the same side. Only by letting Secretary Gao keep her job can she perfectly avoid her ex-lover. Soon, Jin Bao finds a good opportunity to help both herself and Secretary Gao. One day, Director Cha from the research department orders Jin Bao around, telling her to deliver documents needed for Monday's executive meeting to the administration office. Jin Bao secretly looks at the documents and discovers that the Q&A list sent to the president's office is different from the ones sent to other departments. Some content is clearly and deliberately missing. Realizing the implication, Jin Bao takes the documents to Secretary Gao. Seeing them, Secretary Gao understands immediately that Director Cha must have sided with the chairman's son-in-law. To curry favor with the chairman's son-in-law, who wants to compete for the company, Director Cha deliberately omitted part of the content to make Ding Yu, the newly appointed president, look foolish at the executive meeting. Jin Bao reminds Secretary Gao that this is her chance to turn things around. If she takes this opportunity to side with the new president and help him resolve this crisis beforehand, Secretary Gao can win Ding Yu's trust. After weighing the options, Secretary Gao decides to trust Jin Bao for now. After work, the two have a secret talk. They join forces to swap the documents from various department heads, ensuring the complete version is distributed to the president. During the process, Jin Bao learns that Ding Yu hasn't left work yet. Secretary Gao reveals to her that this new president is a workaholic, who often gets so busy he forgets to eat. Jin Bao reminds Secretary Gao that the new president loves pizza. Upon hearing this, Secretary Gao sends for pizza. For the first time, Ding Yu doesn't refuse. The pizza before him seems to remind him of old times and old acquaintances. Monday arrives. As planned, Secretary Gao brings the swapped documents into the meeting room. Jin Bao, tilting her head, hides behind Sister Apple, terrified of being spotted by Ding Yu. Thanks to the confusion Jin Bao created, Secretary Gao successfully hands the complete document to the new president. Because of this document, Ding Yu makes up his mind to make Secretary Gao his secretary, believing that the plan Secretary Gao annotated in the document coincidentally matches his own ideas. Secretary Gao keeps her job, but in reality, the plan in the document was Jin Bao's idea. Outside the meeting, Jin Bao fiercely confronts the three ignorant university graduate juniors, warning them that her nickname is Sister Tough and not to mess with her lightly. Because of Jin Bao's threat, the three juniors finally lower their posture and apologize to Secretary Gao. Secretary Gao thanks Jin Bao for her help and also reveals to her that the late director Jiang's most trusted confidant was Mr. Xiao from the trading department. Mr. Xiao is a veteran at Hanmin Securities, rumored to often work overtime and discuss matters with Director Jiang. Jin Bao reports this crucial clue to the section chief at the supervisory service, suspecting that Mr. Xiao might be the informant, Xiao Ye. The section chief, however, pours cold water on the idea, reminding her that Secretary Gao is not reliable. It turns out that an investigation by the section chief found that before joining Hanmin Securities, Secretary Gao worked at a bank and was once suspected of embezzlement. Tonight, taking advantage of the deserted office, Secretary Gao sneaks in and steals the transaction ledger that Director Jiang and Xiao Ye had originally planned to hand over to Jin Bao. Jin Bao also sneaks back to the company, trying to get Director Jiang's schedule for the day of the car accident. Unexpectedly, the schedule has vanished. However, a phone rings from Ding Yu's office. Realizing she's about to be caught by her ex, Jin Bao panics and flees in a hurry. But Ding Yu still spots her. Facing her ex-boyfriend Ding Yu, Jin Bao is momentarily flustered and anxious. Kim Bo fabricates age for undercover mission, unexpectedly encounters at company her longtime boyfriend from the past. As her identity nears exposure by her ex, the young woman panics. Kim Bo infiltrates Hanmin Securities, but tonight nearly collides with her ex, the company president. To avoid being discovered by her former lover, Kim Bo quickly makes a hasty escape. However, on the road, her ex, Jung-woo, spots her from his car. Realizing the fleeing woman bears a striking resemblance to Kim Bo, Jung-woo exits the vehicle and gives chase. Upon confirming that the woman before him is indeed Kim Bo, Jung-woo is rendered nearly speechless. Luckily, Kim Bo thinks fast, hastily addressing Jung-woo as Sir, purposely adopting the tone of a much younger woman, falsely claiming she does not know him. Under Jung-woo's bewildered gaze, Kim Bo flees once more. Jung-woo, however, is plunged into memory. There was a time when he and Kim Bo had pledged themselves to one another. During their relationship, Jung-woo had bought gifts engraved with both their names, vowing to stay by Kim Bo's side forever. But now, all that is left are bitter memories. Overcome with sadness, Jung-woo contacts a senior colleague, inquiring about Kim Bo's whereabouts. Kim Bo returns to the dormitory. Tonight, the female housemates are enjoying fried chicken together. As she looks at Secretary Go before her, Kim Bo's eyes are filled with suspicion. Given the events of the past few days, her trust in Secretary Go has plummeted. To thank Kim Bo for helping her keep her job, Secretary Go gives her a pink plush toy keychain. But Kim Bo sneaks back into the bedroom, her gaze falling on Secretary Go's bag. Spotting a notebook with a puppy sticker hidden inside, Kim Bo is about to open it, when she is suddenly caught by Secretary Go. Secretary Go accuses Kim Bo of theft, their bickering and arguments eventually attract the dormitory supervisor. The supervisor checks the contents of Secretary Go's bag, asking if anything is missing. When questioned about the notebook, Secretary Go quickly clutches it to her chest, falsely claiming it is her personal diary, finding no items lost. The supervisor advises the two women to make up, but Secretary Go and Kim Bo remain hostile, neither willing to back down. Later, a housemate prepares a feast. Secretary Go deliberately competes with Kim Bo for food. Kim Bo refuses to be outdone, purposefully picks up a large steak, and savors it with delight. That night, Kim Bo reminds Secretary Go that she saved her job, but Secretary Go shouts at her and kicks Kim Bo out of the room. Kim Bo can only silently pray, hoping to find her informant, Little Ye, soon, so she can escape this godforsaken place. Despite their quarrel, outside, Kim Bo still unwaveringly supports her fellow sister. Team leader Cha of the research department insults Secretary Go, claiming she kept her position through seduction. Kim Bo fiercely rebukes team leader Cha, telling him not to speak nonsense. When Secretary Go learns of this, her gratitude and guilt toward Kim Bo grow. She buys Kim Bo a late-night snack during overtime. In an instant, the two women are allied sisters again. To get revenge on the vulgar team leader Cha, Kim Bo and Secretary Go secretly file down his toothbrush, replace his vitamins with laxatives, and steal his reimbursement forms. The next day, after ingesting the pills, team leader Che's stomach churns violently. He feels dizzy and disoriented. Meanwhile, Kim Bo's crisis management department holds its first official meeting. The agenda is to develop an internal information sharing system to improve communication and collaboration at Hanmin Securities. To devote all her energy to finding Little Ye, Kim Bo must quickly handle these trivial tasks, so she proposes to Section Chief Lee, in charge of development, that he can surely complete it in 3 days, the moment Kim Bo encourages him. In Section Chief Lee's eyes, she seems to radiate light, striking a chord in his heart. Thus inspired, he vows to complete the system within 3 days. Over the next 72 hours, Section Chief Lee is glued to his computer, writing code. Kim Bo assists him nearby, timely bringing him water, offering snacks, pointing out errors in his code, providing constructive feedback. With Kim Bo's support, within 72 hours, Section Chief Lee successfully develops the system. It is rapidly implemented company-wide. Employees praise it highly. Efficiency improves significantly, reducing copying and errand tasks by half. With this task accomplished, Kim Bo's focus returns to her informant, Little Ye. Her prime suspect is the late president's confidant, Mr. Shou. Reviewing his profile, she discovers he is a dog lover. Kim Bo speculates, perhaps Little Ye is the name of Mr. Shou's dog. To uncover more about Mr. Shou, Kim Bo deliberately approaches Section Chief Lee. Section Chief Lee confirms, Mr. Shou's dog is indeed named Little Ye. He also mentions a group called the Shou, Cha, Bang Trio, the three living fossils of Hanmin Securities, Director Shou, Team Leader Cha, and Section Chief Bang of the Crisis Management Department. Despite their age differences, they are close friends. Witnesses to the company's history. Section Chief Lee also reveals. Among the three, the late president trusted Mr. Shou the most. Thus, Kim Bo's suspicion of Mr. Shou intensifies. She learns he is a legendary trader on Yeouido, respected for his talent and character. To confirm whether Mr. Shou is her informant, Kim Bo targets her housemate, Uni Apple. Uni Apple works in Mr. Shou's trading department, spending her days serving tea to the traders. Kim Bo volunteers to help. While delivering lunch, Kim Bo sneaks under Mr. Shou's desk, attempting to open his drawer with the master key from her supervisory agency superior, but is interrupted. As she waits for another chance, Kim Bo suddenly notices one of the traders selling all his stocks at the limit-down price. Kim Bo immediately intervenes, calling the exchange to cancel the order. Thanks to Kim Bo's quick thinking, Hanmin Securities avoids major losses, but this incident brings Kim Bo under company-wide scrutiny. Everyone is amazed that a female newcomer could so decisively uncover stock trading irregularities. The chief of the Securities Supervisory Service also takes notice. He informs Kim Bo about a special website in the Yeouido financial district called the Yeouido Pirates. Its members are all financial elites, and it publishes major financial news. For anyone seeking information or intelligence, this website is the place to go. The story of Kim Bo saving Hanmin Securities was first posted and spread on this site, hoping to find clues about Little Ye. Kim Bo wants to join the Pirates website, but membership is by invitation only. Each account can only invite one person. Just as Kim Bo loses hope, her department head, Arang, comes to her rescue. Arang still has his invitation available. He promptly invites Kim Bo, allowing her to join the Pirates website. Kim Bo spends all day searching the site, but clues about Little Ye are like finding a needle in a haystack. Just then, Kim Bo learns that the Securities Supervisory Service is coming to investigate due to the trader's suspected stock crimes. To protect himself, the trader blames everything on Kim Bo, falsely claiming she misinterpreted the situation. To get to the truth, Jung-woo demands Kim Bo come to the conference room to confront the trader. Kim Bo nervously enters the conference room, only to find it completely empty. Unbeknownst to her, to protect Kim Bo's identity, the supervisory service chief had secretly taken stomach medicine, pretended to foam at the mouth, and was rushed to the hospital. After work, Kim Bo meets with the chief. He delivers bad news. To quell the scandal caused by the trader, Hanmin Securities plans to fire Kim Bo. A disciplinary hearing is scheduled for the next day. In reality, firing Kim Bo is CEO Jung-woo's strategy to minimize the company's liability. Making a low-level employee the scapegoat is the easiest solution. But Kim Bo refuses to back down. She is the witch of Yeouido. She won't let them bully her. The disciplinary hearing begins. Jung-woo enters the conference room and finds the woman to be questioned is his former lover. Years ago, Kim Bo and Jung-woo worked at the same accounting firm. At that time, Kim Bo discovered Hanmin Securities was cooking the books, but her superiors told her to look the other way. Kim Bo refused to comply, but Jung-woo chose to compromise, choosing silence. Enraged, Kim Bo broke up with him. Now, facing her past love, Kim Bo hides her emotions behind a fake age and name, greeting CEO Jung-woo as a lowly employee. This episode ends. A girl assumes a fake identity. She conceals her age to join the company. Just as she is about to be fired, she turns the tide. She resolves a crisis. Jinbao discovers improper stock trading and stops the losses in time. Afterward, the company inexplicably holds her accountable. They make her the scapegoat. A disciplinary hearing is scheduled for this matter. At the hearing, Jinbao refuses to take the blame. Mr. So informs everyone that due to Jinbao's actions, although the company recovered some funds, 3 billion Korean won remain unrecovered. Jinbao immediately makes a bold declaration, vowing to recover that 3 billion won. CEO Jung-woo entrusts her with this crucial task. She must obtain a signed cancellation agreement for the 3 billion. Her department colleagues worry, Fearing Jinbao cannot complete the mission, Mr. Cha from the neighboring department comes by to mock Jinbao, saying she only makes empty promises. CEO Jung-woo calls department head Arang. He informs him that if Jinbao fails, she will be fired. But privately, Jung-woo inquires about Jinbao with Secretary Ko. He has looked at Jinbao's resume. He notices a significant gap in her employment history. Secretary Ko takes the chance to speak ill of Jinbao. She claims Jinbao is dishonest and lacks interpersonal skills. She guesses that Jinbao failed all her other interviews. Yet, Jung-woo continues to study Jinbao's photo on the resume, his suspicions still lingering. Jinbao suddenly realizes that the so-called stock trading error might not be simple at its core. It might be connected to the secret funds she is investigating. Jinbao makes a solemn vow. She will not leave until she uncovers the secret funds. In fact, Jinbao's judgment is spot on. The improper stock trading she stopped was a scheme orchestrated by the chairman and Mr. So from the start. Its purpose was to amass secret funds. A few days earlier, Mr. So personally instructed the trader to sell shares at a specific time. The chairman's grandson, Arang, also grows suspicious of this incident. It is said that a year ago, the trading department had a similar suspicious transaction. Arang's father revealed to him that the chairman was indeed manipulating the market behind the scenes, aiming to slowly and steadily fill a secret fund pool. Jinbao meets secretly with a section chief from the supervisory office. The section chief has discovered that before the improper trading, Mr. So met privately with the trader and the president of a certain investment company. Jinbao immediately realizes that Mr. So, complicit with the chairman, is no ordinary person. As for this investment company president, he is also a wily fox. The unrecovered 3 billion won is now in this president's pocket. Jinbao's task is to find this president and have him sign the cancellation agreement. Her department colleagues investigate and find that the investment company is essentially a shell corporation. This further confirms Jinbao's judgment. While Jinbao is busy investigating, Jung-woo sneaks over to her desk. He notices a gift he had given Jinbao in the past. It still has his initials on it. Jung-woo's suspicions about Jinbao grow. After work, he goes to the fried chicken shop run by Jinbao's parents. Her parents immediately take a liking to Jung-woo. They give him free chicken legs and kimchi, hoping to set him up with their daughter. Just then, Jinbao arrives home and runs straight into Jung-woo. Hastily, she pulls him outside. She then quietly pins on a yellow hairpin. Speaking in the tone of a younger woman, she claims to be Jinbao's younger sister. She says the gift on the desk was thrown away by her sister. She advises Jung-woo to get his eyes checked soon and stop mistaking people. After temporarily dealing with Jung-woo, Jinbao returns to the dorm. Her roommates are all worried about her situation. To turn the tables, Jinbao comes up with a good idea: spread rumors to sow discord between Mr. So and the investment company president. With a plan in mind, Jinbao and her roommates act quickly. Each posts messages on pirate websites, claiming falsely that Mr. So has sided with Jinbao, and so on. Sister Apple tells Jinbao that a vibrating sound keeps coming from Mr. So's drawer. Jinbao sees an opening. That night, she and her roommate sneak into the trading department office. Using a master key, they open Mr. So's drawer. Sure enough, they find a second mobile phone hidden inside. Just then, Mr. So returns. Jinbao and her roommates hide and overhear clearly. Mr. So contacts the investment company president. The president, influenced by rumors on the websites, has started to suspect Mr. So. Mr. So urges the president to trust him. He also reminds the president to urgently dispose of a certain office. Jinbao focuses her investigation on this mysterious office. To investigate, she frequently submits fieldwork requests to department head Arang. Following various clues, within days, Jinbao locates the target office. By the time she arrives, the office is already empty. Clearly, it is also a shell company. Fortunately, in the trash can, Jinbao finds a large amount of shredded paper. That night, Jinbao and her roommates stay up late, piecing the shreds together. Their hard work pays off. After staying up all night, Jinbao manages to assemble a complete shipping document. It seems the investment company president is planning to flee. The next day, Jinbao heads to the airport. After a quick search, she spots the president. Seeing Jinbao, the president turns and runs. Jinbao gives chase. She sees him leave his suitcase at the entrance to a restroom. Suddenly, someone approaches from behind. Instinctively, Jinbao executes a shoulder throw, slamming the person to the ground. She looks and sees its department head Arang. Earlier, Sister Apple had submitted Jinbao's fieldwork request. Arang used that chance to ask her where Jinbao was. Now, to protect Jinbao, movie enthusiast Arang hands her a long stick and a pair of handcuffs as tools. Armed with these, Jinbao enters the restroom. After searching each stall, she quickly finds the hiding president. Jinbao shows him the incriminating evidence, urging him to surrender. Gritting his teeth, the president tries to escape, but Jinbao grabs him tightly and refuses to let go. She threatens him with the tools Arang gave her. Finally, the president gives up resisting. He obediently signs the cancellation agreement Jinbao presents. With the signed and stamped cancellation agreement, Jinbao achieves her first victory. Back at the company, Jinbao asks department head Arang to help submit the report on this matter to the CEO. With just a few words, Jinbao charms Arang, who finds himself growing fonder of her. The matter is resolved perfectly. Jung-woo also keeps his promise. He does not fire Jinbao. He assigns a new project to the crisis management department. Suddenly, Jinbao becomes the hero of her department. After receiving her first month's salary, Jinbao immediately sends an email to Jung-woo, reporting Mr. So. Secretary Ko also clarifies things to Jung-woo. Although Jinbao is not good at socializing, she is extremely serious about her work. The earlier information sharing system benefited greatly from Jinbao's efforts. Additionally, it was Jinbao who told Secretary Ko that Jung-woo likes pizza. Jung-woo's appreciation for Jinbao grows. After receiving the report email, Jung-woo warns Mr. So. He forbids anyone in the company from harassing or troubling Jinbao in the future. All the roommates have worked hard. Jinbao decides to treat them to a good meal. They happily gather. The four girls eat, drink, and have a wonderful time. Jinbao hasn't enjoyed such warm friendship in a long time. After their meal, the four girls decide to go to a nightclub to relax and have fun. Unexpectedly, at the club entrance, Jinbao runs into an annoying colleague from the supervisory office. Jinbao quickly turns her face away. Jinbao and her roommates share their little secrets. They each have a secret place where they go to cry when sad. While chatting, Jinbao sees the annoying colleague again. He changed his outfit and managed to get in. He invites Jinbao and her friends to join him. Jinbao hurriedly covers her face. Her roommates ignore him. The colleague has no choice but to leave awkwardly. Inside the lively nightclub, Jinbao and her friends dance joyfully, fully enjoying their night. Having missed the curfew, the four girls have to climb over the wall to get into the dorm. It's a bit risky, but also fun. However, upon entering the dorm, they find it looks like it has been ransacked. Items are overturned and scattered. A complete mess. Clearly, someone broke in to search. With a sense of foreboding, Jinbao nervously walks into the bedroom. She notices her personal notebook seems to have been touched. A suspicious noise comes from the corner closet. A beautiful undercover agent infiltrates her ex-boyfriend's company, vowing to uncover the secret informant, only to find herself trapped in an even deeper vortex. Jinbao and her three roommates return to their dorm late at night, only to find it in complete disarray, as if it had been burgled. Jinbao opens the wardrobe from which a noise is coming, and is astonished to discover a little girl hiding inside. To her shock, the girl calls one of her roommates, Meishu, Mommy. After Meishu explains, Jinbao and the others learn that Meishu is a single mother. Her daughter, Xiaochun, had been living in a welfare home until now. The mess in the dorm and Jinbao's information booklet were all Xiaochun's doing. Worried that Xiaochun's presence might be discovered by the dorm supervisor, which could in turn expose her own identity, Jinbao objects to letting Xiaochun stay in the dorm. The next day, the roommates agree to take the girl out. Jinbao packs Xiaochun into a suitcase, successfully sneaks her out of the dorm, and gives the girl some money, hoping she will understand the adult's difficult situation. On the surface, Hanmin Securities, where Jinbao is undercover, seems calm, but beneath the surface, undercurrents run deep. Privately, the chairman's son-in-law, Director Wu, is meeting with an employee from the Securities Supervisory Service. This employee is a former colleague of Jinbao's. He tells Director Wu that, according to rumors, the supervisory service has planted an insider at Hanmin. It was this insider, working with the late President Jiang, who intended to submit a whistleblower report against Hanmin to the supervisory service. Director Wu relays this information to the chairman, who takes it extremely seriously. An investigation reveals that, before President Jiang passed away, he frequently met with three employees in his office. These three are Xiao, Fang, and Che, namely, Director Xiao, Section Chief Fang, and Director Che. Director Wu is convinced the insider is one of these three. The chairman entrusts his son-in-law with the task of rooting out the insider, demanding that the threat be eliminated completely. Under Director Wu's arrangements, the audit department quickly launches an investigation. The computer data of the 3 suspects is all confiscated and examined. Witnessing this scene, Jinbao senses a significant coincidence. Clearly, the insider the company is investigating is precisely the mysterious informant, Xiao Ye, whom she has been desperately trying to find. As Jinbao's roommate, Secretary Gao has access to President Jiang's schedule. The schedule records show that, the day before the incident, President Jiang did indeed try to meet with Director Xiao, but Director Xiao was absent that day. Combined with previous investigations, Jinbao becomes even more certain that Director Xiao is definitely not Xiao Ye. The suspect must be either Section Chief Feng or Director Che. To test her theory, Jinbao searches for Section Chief Feng's name on a pirate website, and indeed finds an explosive post titled Century Rebellion. Its content details a drunken fight between Section Chief Feng and President Jiang. That day, after drinking, Section Chief Feng lost his composure, publicly mocking President Jiang as the Crown Prince of Hanmin. The president didn't back down either, and the two got into a physical altercation, grappling fiercely, leaving both unable to save face. Reading this post, Jinbao becomes even more confused. Did the president and Section Chief Feng truly fight? And to whom would the president entrust that crucial secret ledger? The internal investigation at Hanmin yields no results either. No anomalies are found on the 3 suspects' computers or in their materials. The chairman sternly rebukes his son-in-law, Director Wu, for his incompetence, demanding that he find a way to uncover the insider by Saturday at all costs. What the chairman doesn't know is that his conversation with Director Wu has been entirely wiretapped by his secretary, Chief Song. On the surface, Chief Song is the chairman's most trusted confidant, but in reality, this confidant seems to have ulterior motives. Jinbao is looking for opportunities to get close to the Xiao Ye suspects, Director Che and Section Chief Feng. Jinbao asks Section Chief Feng if the story in the post Century Rebellion is true. Section Chief Feng nods. That incident indeed happened exactly as described. Curious, Jinbao asks how Section Chief Feng could openly fight with the president and not get fired afterward. Director Che explains the reasoning behind it. It was on the eve of the 1988 Olympics. Hanmin Securities was facing allegations of accounting fraud, and the company was on the verge of crisis. At that time, Section Chief Feng, who was skilled with numbers, turned the tide, beautifying the accounts, and single-handedly carving out a path to survival for the company. Despite being a behind-the-scenes hero for the company, it was said that after that Century Rebellion, Section Chief Feng and President Jiang had become bitter enemies, looking at each other with extreme animosity. Jinbao hesitates, unsure whether to rule out Section Chief Feng as a suspect. She then turns to ask about Director Xiao, wanting to know if Director Che had ever clashed with President Jiang. Director Xiao firmly tells Jinbao Director Che and President Jiang had an excellent relationship. Not only were they alumni from the same school, but they also enlisted in the military together. They were as close as brothers. Returning to the dorm that evening, Jinbao suddenly recalls that during the audit department's investigation, only Director Che's laptop was not confiscated. At work the next day, Jinbao asks her colleague Xiao Li about this. Xiao Li reveals that laptop is Director Che's personal computer, and on the day of the investigation, it happened to be with him because Director Che had asked him to help set it up. Coincidentally, Director Che calls again, asking Xiao Li to help him check a problem with the computer. Jinbao takes the opportunity to curry favor with Xiao Li, who has a soft spot for her. Xiao Li is not just an engineering geek, but also a former white hat hacker. With some well-calibrated flattery from Jinbao, Xiao Li readily agrees to help. Using the repair opportunity, Xiao Li implants a hacking program into the computer. In no time, all the contents of the section chief's laptop are copied onto Jinbao's computer. After opening the files, Jinbao is shocked to discover that Director Che has saved recorded conversations with Chief Song. Before President Jiang's incident, Director Che met with Chief Song. Chief Song hinted to the director that regarding the company's secret ledger, the chairman would push all the responsibility onto his son, President Jiang, and hoped Director Che would cooperate by giving false testimony. In exchange, the company would resolve Director Che's family financial problems. For money, Director Che quickly changed his attitude and resolutely agreed to Chief Song's conditions, betraying his friend, President Jiang. Director Wu also turns his suspicions towards Director Che and Section Chief Feng. The investigation reveals that, on the night of the incident, Director Che had visited President Jiang's office, while Section Chief Feng had a brief exchange with President Jiang in the elevator. Director Wu demands that both submit evidence to clear their names by tomorrow, otherwise, he will have them both eliminated. By noon the next day, Director Che is the first to submit audio evidence, a recording of a conversation between him and President Jiang, in which the president explicitly states that he does not trust Director Che. Based on this, Director Wu temporarily dismisses his suspicions of Director Che. Since she is in the same department as Section Chief Feng, Jin Bao is closely monitoring the Section Chief's every move. She notices Section Chief Feng furtively making a phone call. When no one is looking, Jin Bao hits the redial button and discovers the call went to a photo studio. Intrigued, Jin Bao goes to that photo studio and obtains the prints of the photos Section Chief Feng had developed. She is shocked to find that the photos show her meeting privately with President Jiang before the incident. At that moment, Section Chief Feng takes the photos to see the chairman, but is intercepted by Chief Song, who claims he will examine the evidence on the chairman's behalf. Section Chief Feng explains, that day in the elevator, he sensed something off about President Jiang, so he followed him and secretly took photos of the meeting between the president and a woman from the Securities Supervisory Service. Fortunately, the photos do not show Jin Bao's face clearly, but now Jin Bao is perplexed. Given the current developments, none of the three suspects is Xiao Ye. So who is Xiao Ye? During her investigation, Jin Bao discovers that Xiao Chun has been brought back to the dorm by her roommates. Xiao Chun, though young, is clever and perceptive, and carefully examines the character profiles in Jin Bao's notebook. To protect her undercover identity, Jin Bao is forced to strike a deal with Xiao Chun, allowing the girl to stay in the dorm from now on. With the investigation into Xiao Ye hitting a dead end, Jin Bao decides to find another approach. Based on clues found in Director Che's recordings, Jin Bao suspects that Hanmin selects outstanding female employees and uses their accounts to funnel secret funds. So, the next step for Jin Bao is simply to become the next outstanding employee to uncover the secret. However, before her plan can begin, Jin Bao encounters trouble. In the company corridor, Jin Bao passes by Chief Song. The chief suddenly recalls the photo Section Chief Feng submitted, seeming to sense something amiss. A beautiful undercover agent working at her ex-boyfriend's company gets cornered by him in an elevator, where he questions her and also catches the eye of the handsome department head. The other day, Jin Bao and Section Chief Song passed each other in the hallway. Section Chief Song suddenly felt that Jin Bao looked strangely familiar. Just as Jin Bao was flustered, several employees suddenly ran over, saying that an emergency alert had been activated. Only then did Section Chief Song let Jin Bao go. The alert mentioned by the employees referred to the chairman's ex-wife, the mother of Apple Jie, Mrs. Choi. Mrs. Choi criticized Section Chief Song for taking it upon himself to have her daughter start from an entry-level position. Section Chief Song stood his ground, arguing that he had been the one looking after Apple Jie all these years. Mrs. Choi snorted coldly, reminding Section Chief Song to know his place. Before leaving, Mrs. Choi noticed a group photo of female employees on the wall. The photo was labeled with 3 words, Fox Society. Jin Bao investigated and learned that the Fox Society was founded by Section Chief Song to advocate for the welfare of female employees from Korean Chinese backgrounds. Each quarter, the Fox Society selects an outstanding female employee and awards her a plaque and a cash prize. Jin Bao suspected that the Fox Society might be closely linked to the secret funds she was investigating. Based on her recent inquiries, Jin Bao inferred that these illicit funds might very well have been funneled into the personal accounts of these selected outstanding female employees. Indeed, an investigation by the Supervisory Office's Section Chief revealed that this year's 2 outstanding female employees at Hanmin had each received a large sum of money from unknown sources in their accounts. More terrifyingly, one of these employees had been found dead at a reservoir the previous night. Clearly, that employee had likely been tempted by the inexplicable money that appeared in her account, leading the company to eliminate her. Jin Bao became even more convinced that she must dig deeper along the Fox Society lead. She decided she needed to become the next quarter's outstanding female employee. To achieve this goal, Jin Bao persuaded Section Chief Arang to write her a recommendation letter. Prior to this, the chairman had issued a task requiring 2 major departments to collaborate closely to create a highly profitable financial product. Jin Bao's crisis management team was one of the participating departments. The project leader, Section Chief Cha, looked down on Jin Bao, assigning her only menial tasks like serving tea and water. However, true talent shines through. Jinbao consistently pinpointed the project's flaws with sharp accuracy. Having lost face in front of the newcomers, Section Chief Cha loudly reprimanded Jinbao, telling her to read the room. But this time, Arang sternly rebuked Section Chief Cha. In front of Arang, the chairman's grandson, Section Chief Cha immediately became obsequious. After work, the two departments had a group dinner. Jinbao heard that a VIP was coming. Just as she was curious, she was shocked to see that the VIP was none other than President Ding Yu. Ding Yu reached out his hand toward Jinbao, but Jinbao refused to give him face, merely touching his fingertips symbolically. At the table, Jinbao poured herself a large glass of alcohol, but Ding Yu took it away. Frustrated, Jinbao wondered if Ding Yu already knew her true identity. Then, Ding Yu suddenly appeared behind her. To maintain her cover, Jinbao shamelessly played cute again, asking him to pick one of the ice pops she had bought. Ding Yu voiced his suspicions about Jinbao. Her efficient work style and ability to turn situations around seemed nothing like a newcomer. Faced with his suspicion, Jinbao decided to feign ignorance, dropped the ice pop, and walked away. But in reality, Ding Yu was already certain that the woman before him was indeed his ex-girlfriend, Jinbao. Lately, Ding Yu had been investigating Jinbao. According to the information he gathered, Jinbao had previously worked at the Securities Supervisory Office and had a younger sister. He realized she had used her sister's name and identity to create an entirely new persona. During a company meeting, Ding Yu asked Section Chief Arang to present a report. Arang knew nothing about the project and relied on Jinbao to write prompts in a notebook, which he then read aloud. After work, Ding Yu cornered Jinbao in the elevator, questioning why she had falsified her identity to infiltrate the company. Seeing Jinbao still playing dumb, Ding Yu unhesitatingly pressed the emergency stop button and slowly closed in on her, demanding answers. Faced with Ding Yu's intense interrogation, Jinbao finally told the truth. Outside the elevator, Arang and his subordinates were discussing who might be trapped inside. As an avid movie enthusiast, Arang was certain, if there was only one person in the elevator, it was definitely a horror movie. But if there were two, it was undoubtedly a romance. Manager Fang and Xiao Li noticed Jinbao was missing and called her phone. They heard her ringtone coming from inside the elevator. Inside, Ding Yu asked Jinbao again why she had infiltrated Hanmin under a false identity. Jinbao didn't answer. She was confident Ding Yu couldn't force her out. Just then, the elevator doors opened, and Jinbao quickly ended the conversation, stepping out first. Ding Yu also looked somewhat embarrassed. Arang, however, grew suspicious of the relationship between Jinbao and Ding Yu. Walking home from work, Jinbao saw a man harassing Secretary Gao. Without hesitation, Jinbao kicked the man down and grabbed a broom to teach him a lesson. After the man fled, Secretary Gao grabbed Jinbao, begging her not to chase after him. Back at the dormitory, under Jinbao's persistent questioning, Secretary Gao finally confessed. It turned out the man was her brother. Jinbao and her roommates learned that Secretary Gao's brother had just been released from prison. Talking about her parasitic brother with a criminal record, Secretary Gao couldn't help but cry in frustration. If she had a normal family, she wouldn't be living crowded with roommates at nearly 30. Jinbao suddenly remembered something. Secretary Gao was actually last quarter's outstanding female employee. Jinbao suspected that, in order to escape her vampire brother, Secretary Gao might be planning to take the money from her account and run away. Sure enough, that night, fearing her brother would show up sooner or later, Secretary Gao packed her belongings, intending to leave the dormitory. Jinbao stopped her, knowing full well Secretary Gao had nowhere to go. To help Secretary Gao, Jinbao mobilized her roommates, describing Secretary Gao's brother's appearance and warning them to subdue him immediately if he showed up at the dorm entrance. Her roommate Mi-suk gave Secretary Gao pepper spray for self-defense and prepared a homemade lunch for her. Moved by her friend's kindness, Secretary Gao felt a long-lost warmth. At work, looking at the lunch Mi-suk had made and her already drafted resignation letter, Secretary Gao hesitated. Just then, a friend called her. It turned out that Secretary Gao had previously asked her friend to investigate Jinbao. Fortunately, Jinbao was using her sister's name, Jang-mi. The friend discovered that Jang-mi had been a full-fledged delinquent in school, always getting into fights. Additionally, Jang-mi apparently had an older sister. Upon hearing this, Secretary Gao began to feel a flicker of suspicion. After work, Arang gathered his courage to ask Jinbao, whom he liked, to a movie. The Supervisory Office Section Chief suggested Jinbao use this opportunity to get close to Arang and use her charms to investigate the flow of the secret funds. Jinbao took the advice and accepted Arang's invitation. Tonight was the date. Jinbao had dressed up specially, wearing a beautiful new dress. But just then, her roommate Mi-suk delivered bad news. A man matching Secretary Gao's brother's description was spotted outside the dormitory building. Jinbao rallied her roommates to action, grabbing a frying pan and heading to the entrance herself. Looking closely, however, she saw that the visitor was actually President Dingyu. The other roommates misunderstood the situation, called the building manager, and started fighting with Dingyu, even spraying him with pepper spray. Disheveled, Dingyu handed out his business card, finally clearing up the misunderstanding. Secretary Gao told Jinbao to go on with her date. Hearing the word date, Dingyu couldn't help but scrutinize Jinbao's outfit, seeming somewhat displeased. Arang was still waiting anxiously at the restaurant. When Jinbao finally arrived, a joyful smile appeared on his face. During the meal, Arang asked Jinbao directly what she and Dingyu had talked about in the elevator that day. Jinbao told a casual lie. Arang saw through it but didn't call her out. After the date, Jinbao met secretly with the supervisory office section chief. He handed her a business card for an auto repair center, saying the company president who had previously colluded with Hanmin on stock trades was hiding there. Jinbao went to the location but was surprised to see Arang. She clearly remembered Arang saying he had a family gathering tonight. Even more suspiciously, the person Arang was meeting was the same thug who had threatened Jinbao before. Suddenly, Jinbao became wary of Arang. The beautiful undercover agent is conducting an investigation, but she catches the eye of the chairman's grandson. Even her ex-boyfriend, the company president, can't let go of her. Jinbao unexpectedly discovers that Alang, the chairman's grandson, is meeting a mysterious man from the auto repair shop. Jinbao remembers that this man tried to kidnap her after President Jiang was murdered. Witnessing this scene, Jinbao becomes suspicious of Alang. The section chief from the supervisory agency reminds Jinbao that Alang might be the real mastermind behind the secret funds. Jinbao is confused, unsure what role Alang plays in this complex chess game. The next day at the company, still suspicious of Alang, Jinbao sneaks a look at his desk and finds a document hidden under the seat. Opening it, she discovers it's the car accident death report of President Jiang. The report mentions that the day before the incident, President Jiang had taken his car for repairs. The repair shop responsible was the same auto center Jinbao saw last night. On the other hand, Jinbao receives good news. She has been selected as the quarter's outstanding female employee. Manager Song wants to present her with a certificate. Alang follows along, bringing flowers and a camera, taking many celebratory photos of Jinbao. Seizing the opportunity, Jinbao claims her selection was thanks to Alang's help and suggests having dinner alone with him. Facing the initiative of a girl he likes, Alang is thrilled. That night, Jinbao treats Alang to his favorite street stall. During the meal, she deliberately brings up the late President Jiang's car accident. By relation, President Jiang was Alang's uncle. Alang tells Jinbao that his uncle cared about him a lot, always nagging him with many company-related numbers. As they talk, Jinbao is surprised to see her ex-boyfriend Dingyu and Sister Apple arrive at the same stall. In fact, Dingyu and Sister Apple are currently on a blind date. To hide her identity, Sister Apple tries to find an excuse to leave, but Alang, oblivious, invites them both to drink together. After sitting down, Dingyu asks Jinbao and Alang why they are meeting alone outside the office. Jinbao tells Dingyu that she is having a one-on-one conversation with her direct supervisor. Then she pours Dingyu a beer, deliberately filling most of the glass with foam. Dingyu doesn't mind and downs it in one gulp, claiming that his ex-girlfriend loved drinking, and after breaking up with her, he forced himself to drink too. After a short conversation, Jinbao and Sister Apple return to their dorm together. Dingyu reminds Alang that meeting a subordinate privately outside work is inappropriate. Alang asks Dingyu how he knows about this street stall. Dingyu replies that it was his ex-girlfriend's favorite place, so he often comes. Alang nods, not yet knowing Dingyu's relationship with Jinbao. The next day at the company, Dingyu receives a call from Director Wu, the chairman's son-in-law. Today, Director Wu has lunch plans with people from the Securities Supervisory Agency and wants Dingyu to join. Hearing Securities Supervisory Agency, Dingyu immediately agrees to the meal. After meeting, the section chief from the agency is very warm to Dingyu. The section chief already knows about Dingyu and Jinbao's former relationship and came specifically to see what charm this guy had. Seeing Dingyu in person, the chief is full of praise, calling him a talented man, the epitome of an ideal son-in-law. Meanwhile, Dingyu brings up the agency's investigation into Hanmin a month ago, trying to find out about Jinbao. His former colleague at the agency is blunt, saying Jinbao has been transferred somewhere else and will never return to Seoul in this lifetime. But Dingyu hints that someone might be biding their time, waiting for revenge. Jinbao is pacing anxiously on the stairs when Dingyu approaches. Having dated for many years, Dingyu knows all of Jinbao's habits. Now, Dingyu warns Jinbao to see people for who they are, stop clinging to naive fantasies, and give up her pointless undercover mission. But Jinbao has no intention of quitting, saying Dingyu can stand by and watch, just like before. Later, the section chief contacts Jinbao. The chief has found out that since Jinbao was selected as outstanding female employee, over 20 billion won of secret funds have been transferred into her account. Jinbao suspects this is only a small part of the secret funds. To investigate the secret funds, Jinbao has recently set her sights on Alang. One day, she discovers that Alang has contacted the auto repair center again and plans to pick up his car tonight. Jinbao follows him, but to her surprise, she sees the man from the repair shop trying to ambush Alang. Seeing Alang being attacked and about to be overwhelmed, Jinbao drives in quickly, urgently lets Alang into her car, and speeds away. Confronting Alang, Jinbao lies that she came to get his signature. Alang doesn't believe her and demands the truth. Jinbao stops hiding and directly pulls out President Jiang's accident report to question Alang. Alang confesses that he has been investigating his uncle's accident. After the accident, Alang found that no one in the family cared about his uncle's death, and no one wanted to investigate the cause of the accident. That night, he overheard the chairman telling manager Song to contact the police and request that the accident investigation be stopped. From then on, Alang became convinced that his uncle's accident held secrets. To find out why, Alang bribed the investigating officer and obtained the accident investigation report. The officer also revealed that President Jiang's brakes had been deliberately tampered with. Unfortunately, this clue was deleted from the report for some reason. Based on the report, Alang traced the auto repair center and wanted to uncover the truth of the accident. Learning the truth, Jinbao finally clears her suspicion of Alang and decides to team up with him. Alang also needs a smart partner, so he shares his speculation. Before the accident, President Jiang should have left evidence incriminating Hanmin in his office. But the problem is, neither the Securities Supervisory Agency nor Hanmin found that evidence afterward. Jinbao agrees, thinking someone must have taken it midway. Alang suspects Secretary Gao, since she was President Jiang's secretary and one of the few with access to the president's office. During their discussion, Jinbao thinks of another person, the cleaning lady. The auntie cleans the president's office and might know some unseen details. That night, the cleaning lady is cleaning the office of the new president, Dingyu. Jinbao notices that the gifts she and Dingyu exchanged when they were dating are now displayed on Dingyu's desk. But Jinbao has no time for past feelings. The cleaning lady tells Jinbao that on the day of the accident, Secretary Gao came to the president's office and picked up a notebook with a puppy sticker from among some fallen papers. Jinbao suddenly remembers seeing that notebook in the dormitory. Thinking of Secretary Gao's reaction at the time, Jinbao rushes back to the dorm to confront her. Secretary Gao then discovers that the notebook she had hidden inside a magazine is gone. Sister Apple explains that she threw away all the expired magazines. Secretary Gao and Jinbao rush to the garbage disposal area, but the security guard tells them that all the trash has already been thrown into the incinerator. Faced with Jinbao's questioning, Secretary Gao admits that the notebook was indeed the secret funds ledger. She also reveals that the notebook had a sticker labeled 7th floor, indicating it had been transferred from the company's 7th floor to the chairman's office. Jinbao is shocked. The three suspects she had suspected of being the informant, Xiao Ye, all work in departments on the 7th floor. In other words, her earlier judgment might not be wrong. The informant could be one of those three. Learning that the secret funds ledger has been destroyed, the section chief orders Jinbao to abort the undercover mission immediately. Unwilling to give up, Jinbao sends an email to Xiao Ye, claiming she is already undercover at Hanmin and proposing a private meeting. Soon, Xiao Ye replies, agreeing to meet. That night, Jinbao goes to the meeting place, but on the way, she is ambushed by Secretary Gao's older brother. At the critical moment, Dingyu appears and subdues the man. Jinbao has no time to thank him and rushes to the meeting spot. Finally, Xiao Ye shows up, but upon seeing Jinbao, he says nothing and turns away. Jinbao cannot see his face clearly. To force him out, Jinbao decides to take a risk. She proactively tests one of the suspects, Section Chief Fang, claiming she knows everything, deliberately mentioning the meeting with Xiao Ye and asking why he ran away last night. A beautiful undercover agent works at her ex-boyfriend's company, but upon deeper investigation, she discovers that while she had assumed her ex-boyfriend was complicit in the corruption, he actually harbors a secret unknown to others. Although she wasn't able to meet with Xiao Ye, Jinbao has already figured out who Xiao Ye really is. The next day at the company, Jinbao directly points out that Section Chief Fang is the informant Xiao Ye. It turns out that before sending the email to Xiao Ye, Jinbao had tampered with the keyboards of three suspects, For example, she deliberately broke the period key on Section Chief Fang's keyboard. So when she saw that Xiao Ye's email lacked periods, Jinbao was certain that Section Chief Fang was Xiao Ye. Now that the truth is out, Section Chief Fang has no choice but to admit it. Indeed, he is the mysterious Xiao Ye. That night, Section Chief Fang and Jinbao speak privately. Jinbao reveals her true identity to him. Section Chief Fang also explains the whole story behind the secret funds. Before he was killed, President Jiang discovered the existence of secret funds in the company and decided to report them to the prosecutors. At the same time, he tried to bring Section Chief Fang on board to help him. At that time, Section Chief Fang was regretting his past actions of cooking the books for the company, so he accepted President Jiang's invitation. Before the incident, the two had worked together to compile materials and records related to the secret funds, intending to hand them all over to Jinbao at the Supervision Institute. Section Chief Fang also used the identity of Xiao Ye to email Jinbao. Later, he received a reply from Jinbao asking to meet and discuss in detail. To be on the safe side, President Jiang made arrangements in advance, instructing Section Chief Fang to take a few photos of himself and Jinbao during their meeting. If the chairman became suspicious afterward, Section Chief Fang could use those photos to prove his innocence. Thanks to those deliberately taken photos, Section Chief Fang successfully survived the chairman's internal investigation to uncover the informant. But now the secret funds ledger has been destroyed. Jinbao asks Section Chief Fang if there are any copies of the ledger. Although Section Chief Fang claims to have destroyed all copies, Jinbao doesn't believe him. She urges him to fight alongside her, promising to protect his identity and safety. However, Section Chief Fang is cautious by nature. He suspects that President Jiang's car accident was no accident, fears being implicated, and refuses Jinbao on the spot. In fact, Section Chief Fang's situation is not good. A few years ago, he needed money, so he helped the company cook the books. Later, he signed a confidentiality agreement with the company only to find himself trapped. He is talented, but the company has been holding him back from promotion. When he tried to jump to another company, the company secretly blocked him. To make matters worse, Section Chief Fang has a sick child. Now, more than meaningless pride or so-called justice, his top priority is to keep his job. The section chief of the Supervision Institute urges Jinbao not to give up now that things have come this far. He has already sensed that something is off in Korea's stock and bond markets. It feels like the calm before a storm. Jinbao decides to do everything she can, constantly trying to persuade Section Chief Fang. But no matter how she tries, the cautious Section Chief Fang refuses to cooperate with her. Meanwhile, the danger lurking in the shadows around Jinbao is beginning to surface. That day, a man from the repair shop contacts Team Leader Song. He talks about the night Along came to see him and mentions Jinbao, who rescued Along. Team Leader Song senses danger and asks the man to investigate the relationship between Alang and Jinbao. Coincidentally, Ding Yu overhears Team Leader Song's phone call. Realizing that Jinbao is about to be exposed, Ding Yu contacts the section chief of the Supervision Institute and asks for a meeting. He gets straight to the point, hoping the section chief will transfer Jinbao back to the Securities Supervision Institute as soon as possible. The section chief feels helpless. Jinbao is a warrior. More than her personal safety, Jinbao cares about winning this financial battle. Just as the section chief predicted, Korea's financial markets are now teetering on the brink. To make money amid the chaos, the chairman orders the launch of a fund product touting high returns. But in reality, sales of the fund product are poor. Instead, the company keeps pressuring employees to take responsibility for sales figures. Feeling exploited by the company and sensing the coming crisis, Section Chief Fang takes the initiative to contact Jinbao. Jinbao promises that even if Hanmin's secret funds are exposed, she will never implicate Section Chief Fang. After much deliberation, Section Chief Fang remains hesitant, asking Jinbao to give him more time to think. During this time, Secretary Gao discovers Jinbao's true identity. That evening, Secretary Gao visits the fried chicken shop run by Jinbao's parents. But Jinbao's parents tell her that the photo on the wall is of their eldest daughter, Jinbao. The name Jinbao borrowed Jang-mi belongs to their youngest daughter. Realizing that Jinbao has stolen her younger sister's identity, Secretary Gao decides to go all the way and report Jinbao to Team Leader Song. Unexpectedly, Team Leader Song brings up the night when Secretary Gao's brother attacked a female employee, warning Secretary Gao to handle her personal affairs properly. Recalling the scar on Jinbao's neck that night, Secretary Gao worries that the female employee might be Jinbao herself. After checking with Ding Yu, Secretary Gao confirms that it was indeed Jinbao who was attacked by her brother that night. That evening at the dormitory, Jinbao warns Secretary Gao to resign and leave as soon as possible, or else she will be endlessly troubled by her crazy brother. Jinbao also says she plans to resign and move out of the dormitory. Before that, she hopes Secretary Gao will keep her secret. Secretary Gao agrees. Because of what her brother did, she always feels guilty toward Jinbao. That night, the dormitory holds a celebration for Meishu, who won the sales championship. Meishu is a teller at the Hanmin branch. To support her daughter, Xiaochun, Meishu has been desperately selling the new fund launched by Hanmin. After much effort, she becomes the quarterly sales champion. At the celebration, Sister Apple buys gifts for all her roommates. But even though it's a celebration, everyone in the dormitory has their own concerns. The 3-month probation period is about to end. Sister Apple is being arranged by her mother to live with the chairman's father. Secretary Gao longs to escape her brother's extortion and dreams of going to Los Angeles no matter what. But in reality, the storm has arrived. On the news, the government admits to national bankruptcy. South Korea is plunged into a financial crisis. On the night the crisis breaks, Secretary Gao receives a call from the company asking her to contact various executives for an emergency meeting. In addition to Hanmin's executives, government officials from the Ministry of Finance also attend. The greedy chairman wants to take advantage of the situation to extract money from the government, asking the Ministry of Finance to provide Hanmin with public funds. But the government cannot just hand out money. It demands that Hanmin submit recent financial statements for review. The chairman privately instructs Yeouido that submitting the statements is just a formality. They just need to show the Ministry of Finance a string of favorable numbers. The next day, Jin Bao completes her probation and becomes a regular employee. But she also learns that Xiao Fang and Che have all taken time off at the same time. Sensing something is wrong, Jin Bao searches and finds that all three are holed up in the company's secret office. Just then, Yeouido walks over. Jin Bao has a flash of inspiration and lies, saying that Minister Along sent her to help Section Chief Fang. Surprisingly, even though Yeouido knows Jin Bao's real purpose, he agrees to let her enter the secret office as a gopher assistant. But at the same time, Yeouido calls Along to ask if she indeed requested Jin Bao to assist Section Chief Fang. To protect Jin Bao, Along resolutely goes along with the lie. From then on, Jin Bao successfully joins the secret project team led by Xiao Fang and Che. During the process, Minister Che hands Jin Bao a final draft document asking her to keep it temporarily. But Jin Bao sneaks the document out. From the document, she discovers that the secret project team's goal is to cook the books and defraud the Ministry of Finance. To steal the taxpayers' hard-earned money, the team prepares materials that turn the company's books from loss to profit. To thwart the false accounting scheme, Jin Bao prepares the original account records in advance. Later, when Yeouido comes to pick up the documents, Jin Bao chases him to the parking lot and hands him the original documents, claiming they are the final draft. To her further surprise, Yeouido opens the file to check, but even after discovering they are the original records, he does not expose her. Instead, he submits them as is. Because of Jin Bao and Yeouido's secret actions, Hanmin is not selected for the Ministry of Finance's assistance list. The chairman is furious, but Yeouido is confident. In fact, as early as a year ago, Yeouido had foreseen Korea's financial crisis. His coming to Hanmin as president this time was for another purpose entirely. However, when Section Chief Fang learns from Yeouido that Jin Bao swapped the accounting materials, he confronts her. In Section Chief Fang's view, you have to put out the fire in front of you before you can think about the next step. Jin Bao's actions could cost tens of thousands of Hanmin employees their jobs. Jin Bao sees things differently. She cannot stand by and watch Hanmin cook the books and plunder public funds. She cannot bear to see the public pay for the chairman's corruption. Section Chief Fang cannot accept Jin Bao's sense of justice. He realizes that although the two of them are at the center of the storm, they will never be allies fighting side by side. Beautiful undercover agent investigates, but faces a layoff crisis. The storm has arrived. To turn the tide, the beauty tries to turn things around. The financial crisis sweeps through South Korea. Hanmin Securities is engulfed in the turmoil. At a critical moment, Kim Bo sets up a scheme to swap documents, preventing Hanmin, the greedy giant, from receiving government bailout funds. But this creates a conflict of ideals with Section Chief Fang Xiaoye. At night, Kim Bo meets with the supervisor's section chief. Even the section chief says, Section Chief Fang did nothing wrong. Even though this setback hurts Hanmin, the chairman of Hanmin won't be affected in the slightest. In the end, only innocent employees will suffer the blow. Kim Bo also mentions Yeouido. Earlier, she confronted him. Yeouido admits he deliberately arranged for Kim Bo to join the secret project team. Kim Bo doesn't understand his motive, but the section chief says Yeouido was probably helping her. Just like in the past, it turns out that back then, the accounting firm where Kim Bo worked was going to sue her. Yeouido secretly stepped in, ran around and managed to avert the disaster against Kim Bo. Kim Bo regrets it. Now that she knows, it's too late. Yeouido is currently on a blind date with Sister Apple, and is expected to soon become Hanmin's son-in-law. The section chief gives a deadline, demanding that Kim Bo end her undercover operation as soon as possible. Now that the secret fund ledger is destroyed, it means they cannot continue exposing Hanmin management's corruption. As for the employees' livelihoods, that's not their concern. Moreover, in the midst of this financial storm, the Securities Supervisory Service itself is struggling to survive. At this juncture, Kim Bo has to face the harsh reality. After some analysis, Secretary Gao deduces Kim Bo's true purpose for going undercover and presses Kim Bo on how she learned about the secret funds. Kim Bo tells Secretary Gao the whole story, but now, none of it matters anymore. Kim Bo says she will resign before the new year. After that, she and Secretary Gao will go their separate ways. Back at the dormitory, Kim Bo helps put Xiao Chun to sleep. At night, Mi-suk returns late. Kim Bo knows. The Hanmin branch where Mi-suk works must be in utter chaos. Mi-suk looks sorrowful. She worked hard, but in the end, it was all for nothing. That night, Mi-suk gazes at her sleeping daughter one last time, then walks out of the dormitory alone. In fact, the situation is even worse than Kim Bo realizes. Earlier, Hanmin launched a fund product touted to have high returns. and demanded that branch employees aggressively sell it to earn money to raise her daughter. Mi-suk goes all out, promoting the product to customers, striving to become the branch's quarterly sales champion. But the product implodes. Customers suffer heavy losses. The defrauded customers take their anger out on Mi-suk. Earlier today, Mi-suk even received a lawsuit. Angry customers are suing her for fraud, demanding that she compensate for massive losses. Hanmin headquarters, meanwhile, simply shifts all blame to the frontline staff, saying that whoever sold the fund is responsible. Desperate, Mi-suk goes to see the branch manager, begging for help. She feels wronged. It was headquarters that pushed the fund as a flagship product, and the manager kept pushing them to meet sales targets. But now that trouble has come, the manager also refuses to take responsibility, telling Mi-suk to resolve the matter herself. That night, Mi-suk hides out in a cheap motel, crying and drinking heavily. On the table are 2 completed suicide notes. The next morning, Kim-bo receives a call from the police, learning that Mi-suk attempted to take her own life. Fortunately, Mi-suk is rescued. Kim-bo rushes to the hospital. The police tell her about the 2 suicide notes Mi-suk left, one for her and one for the chairman of Hanmin. In the note, Mi-suk confesses to Kim-bo a secret she's kept for a long time. It turns out that 9 years ago, Mi-suk and Kim-bo already knew each other. Back then, Mi-suk was a secretary at an accounting firm. It was her first job. She was a bit nervous. Once, she accidentally spilled coffee on an accountant's documents. Mi-suk quickly apologized, but that accountant didn't say a single harsh word to her. That accountant was Kim-bo. Later, when Mi-suk was harassed by a manager, Kim-bo stepped up without hesitation and taught the manager a lesson. But later, such a good person as Kim-bo was treated unfairly and forced out of the firm. Not long ago, Kim-bo changed her name and identity and moved into the employee dormitory. Mi-suk recognized her immediately. She was so happy to be reunited with Kim-bo. She also believed that Kim-bo was hiding her identity for some unavoidable reason. In the dormitory, Mi-suk and her daughter grew to love Kim-bo so much, they even considered her family. And now, to protect her daughter Xiaochun, Mi-suk begs Kim-bo to help Xiaochun renounce her inheritance. Only then would she, as a mother, not burden her daughter. After reading the letter, Kim-bo is in tears. She realizes that such warm kindness had been right beside her all along. Later, Secretary Gao and Sister Apple visit Mi-suk in the hospital. Overcome with emotion, Secretary Gao blurts out accusations against Sister Apple because she already knew that Sister Apple is the chairman's daughter. In Secretary Gao's view, Mi-suk's suffering is all her father's fault. Now that it's come to this, Sister Apple has no choice but to reveal her identity as Hanmin's heir. Fortunately, Secretary Gao also gets Kim-bo to clear the air. Kim-bo confesses her hidden identity, but the storm around Hanmin continues. The second letter from Mi-suk is delivered to the chairman, hoping he will take responsibility and not abandon those hardworking employees. But the chairman is utterly selfish. He tears the letter to shreds, orders his son-in-law to keep the media quiet, and tells Director Song to retrieve the other letter. To the chairman, employees are like weeds. Hanmin's interests are paramount. Director Song immediately finds Kim-bo, demanding that she hand over Mi-suk's suicide note, but Kim-bo's eyes are sharp, neither servile nor overbearing. What she hands over is not the note, but the piles of lawsuits Mi-suk has received. Kim-bo condemns the company's behavior of discarding its workers, asks the company to address the matter, and to cover Mi-suk's medical expenses. Just then, Director Cha from the next department comes over to gossip, prying Kim-bo for the contents of Mi-suk's letter. Kim-bo yells at Director Cha, and without mercy, throws him to the ground, telling him to do some serious reflection. Today, Kim-bo submits her resignation to Director A. Lang. Sister Apple is also picked up by her mother and moves out of the dormitory. Secretary Gao brings Xiaochun to the hospital to see her mother. At night, Xiaochun quietly stays by her mother's side. Secretary Gao is in the hallway, crying as she reads the letter Mi-suk left for Kim-bo. The 2 women are deeply distressed. Such a kind person as Mi-suk forced to face a despair she never deserved. The low-level employees are in an abyss, yet Hanmin continues to plunder wealth without restraint. To attract funding for Hanmin, the chairman orders Ding-yu to find investment firms. Ding-yu introduces a foreign investor he knows, who comes to the company that day for discussions. The investor agrees to inject capital into Hanmin, but demands that Hanmin reduce its workforce. The chairman immediately agrees, and then orders the heads of each department to carry out layoffs in their respective departments, cutting 40% of staff. The 3 department heads face difficult choices to save as many employees as possible. Director Xiao of the trading department only writes his own name on the layoff list. After 25 years of service, Director Xiao resigns. The chairman shows no regret and immediately assigns the trading department's layoffs to Director Cha. Then comes the elimination of Kim-bo's crisis management department. What confuses Kim-bo is she submitted her resignation but isn't fired. Instead, the hard-working Section Chief Fang is laid off. It turns out Section Chief Fang asked Director Alang to put him on the list. He knew the company had wanted him gone for a long time. Rather than being forced out, he would leave with dignity, and in doing so, protect the rest of the department. On the day Section Chief Fang leaves the company, Kim-bo and the others say goodbye at the entrance. Section Chief Fang waves casually, but as for where to go from here, he has no idea. Many female employees are also laid off. That night, they pack their bags and leave the dormitory. Kim Bo reflects. In the current, the first to be destroyed by the storm are always ordinary people like them, powerless. Yet after endless twists and turns, suddenly, a silver lining appears. On the dormitory coffee table, Kim Bo is astonished to see loose pages of the secret fund ledger, folded into various shapes. Xiao Chun tells Aunt Kim Bo she folded them all. Looking closer, the ledger she thought was burned is right underneath these origami pieces. Thanks to Xiao Chun, Kim Bo immediately examines the ledger, then reports it to the supervisory section chief. The section chief quickly reports to higher-ups, but in the current climate, the higher-ups just want to stand by and do nothing. Kim Bo cannot accept this situation. Thinking of the sacrifice of President Jiang, the struggle of Misuk, the laid-off employees, Kim Bo realizes she must do something. That night, Kim Bo brings the ledger to see Secretary Gao, proposing they join forces to steal Hanmin's huge secret funds. A beautiful undercover investigator is pushed to the brink during a probe, but at the critical moment, she uses her wits and strategies. She plans to join forces with a friend to launch a desperate counterattack. To help the countless Hanmin employees who have been driven into a corner, Jin Bao makes a special decision. She wants to team up with Secretary Gao to steal Hanmin's massive secret funds and gives Gao only 3 days to consider whether to cooperate. Before that, Jin Bao returns to the Securities Supervision Institute and resolutely hands in her resignation to the section chief. From now on, she will focus entirely on solving the Hanmin problem. The section chief refuses to let her go and tries to persuade her again. He argues that the national economy is on the brink of crisis. At such a critical juncture, no one will care about a chairman embezzling funds. But Jin Bao refuses to listen to the section chief, believing that if left unchecked, Hanmin, like a worm, will only become more rampant. Due to recent massive layoffs, the company has set a new set of work standards for female employees. Reading the document, Jin Bao finds that, from now on, they will be contract-based hires, facing the risk of being fired by Hanmin at any time, and each female employee must handle 3 departments. Jin Bao knows very well that the company is exploiting the employee's sense of having no way out. Nevertheless, Jin Bao still signs and stamps the new contract without hesitation. Hearing that Jin Bao has resigned from the Securities Supervision Institute, Ding Yu is both anxious and angry. He suspects that the section chief has sent Jin Bao on another secret mission. The section chief clarifies that this time it is purely Jin Bao's personal decision. He simply cannot persuade her otherwise. The section chief then assigns Ding Yu the task of persuading Jin Bao, reminding him to use his personal charm. Ding Yu immediately goes to see Jin Bao, demanding that she leave Hanmin as soon as possible before she gets into trouble. To force Jin Bao to leave, Ding Yu even threatens that he wouldn't mind exposing her undercover identity. But Jin Bao is certain that Ding Yu wouldn't dare do that. She points out that Koreans love emotional gossip. If her and Ding Yu's past were dug up, Ding Yu would also find himself in trouble. After speaking, Jin Bao stubbornly turns away, leaving even Ding Yu with no way to handle her. According to the new contract, Jin Bao starts rotating among 3 departments. In the morning, Jin Bao must be at the research department, headed by Section Chief Cha. Section Chief Cha plans to take this chance to teach Jin Bao a harsh lesson, to get back at her for humiliating him in public last time. Having made up his mind, Section Chief Cha starts ordering Jin Bao around, trying to boss her. But to his surprise, Jin Bao remains neither humble nor pushy. She states her working hours to Section Chief Cha and turns to leave for the next department, declaring that she will not devote her time to a company that could kick her out at any moment. After work, Jin Bao visits her roommate Meishu at the hospital and finds that the chairman's daughter, Sister Apple, has paid all of Meishu's hospital expenses. Still, Jin Bao speaks bluntly, saying that the father exploits the employees, while the daughter comes to comfort them. It's no different from setting a fire and then trying to put it out. Sister Apple feels a bit dejected. Ever since her identity was exposed, her roommates have gradually become cold toward her. Forced by her mother and family arrangements, Sister Apple has come to the company to serve as a director. But when facing the upper management, Sister Apple's inexperience and immaturity are completely exposed. After meeting with the executives, Sister Apple sneaks to the break room to talk with Secretary Gao. She really wants to continue being sisters with her roommates. Secretary Gao, sharp-tongued as ever, deliberately addresses Sister Apple with exaggerated respect as director, reminding her to keep both her own and Jin Bao's secrets. Sister Apple quickly nods in agreement. She will not betray her friends. At the end of another workday, Arang and colleague Xiao Li come to see Jin Bao carrying instant noodles. In front of Jin Bao, the 2 men eat their hot noodles, while complaining about their recent work situation. Even though he is a department head, ever since his department was merged into the trading department, Arang has been treated by the traders as if he were invisible. As he speaks, Arang unconsciously calls out Section Chief Fang, but then realizes that Section Chief Fang is no longer there. The department is in disarray. Jin Bao and the others feel a bit sad at heart. After Jin Bao leaves work, Arang and Xiao Li praise her behind her back. They both feel that although Jin Bao is only in her 20s, her experience, wisdom, and courage do not resemble those of a young woman new to society. Sometimes, the 2 men even feel that Jin Bao is more like a senior. Speaking of this, they suddenly recall what Section Chief Fang said on the day he resigned. Section Chief Fang told them to show more respect to Sister Jinbao. Xiaoli laughs it off, thinking Section Chief Fang was joking, but Orang is more sensitive, and now he starts to feel a bit suspicious. The section chief from the Securities Supervision Institute contacts Jinbao to tell her something. Recently, Hanmin issued short-term bonds that were heavily bought by an overseas investment company, which happens to be where Dingyu used to work. As the call ends, Dingyu comes to see Jinbao again, still hoping she will abandon her plan to fight Hanmin. Dingyu gives Jinbao a sum of money, telling her not to waste time on useless sympathy. But right after he turns away, Jinbao overhears a phone call of Dingyu's. On the phone, Dingyu tells a friend that when Jinbao swapped the documents, he deliberately turned a blind eye in order to carry out his own subsequent plan. Now giving money to Jinbao is merely a way to make some moral compensation. Enraged, Jinbao hurls the money hard at Dingyu's head, lashing out at his heartlessness and hypocrisy. Dingyu cannot understand why Jinbao, just like back then, always insists on shouldering responsibilities that aren't hers. Fighting back tears, Jinbao replies that it's simply because she doesn't want to become as pathetic and cowardly as Dingyu. Since Meishu has not yet woken up at the dorm lately, Jinbao and Secretary Gao have been taking turns caring for Xiao Chun. While looking after the girl, Secretary Gao asks Jinbao about the specific plan to steal the secret funds. Jinbao claims to have made meticulous arrangements to prevent the case from implicating the younger sister whose identity she has assumed. Jinbao has even arranged for that sister to attend a boarding school in the mountains. Even so, Secretary Gao still has concerns about the whole plan. She tells Jinbao that Chief Song has asked her to eavesdrop on Dingyu. After listening to the recording, Jinbao quickly deduces that Dingyu's recommendation of that overseas investor to Hanmin was not out of goodwill, but to set a trap, ultimately joining the investor to take over Hanmin at a low price. Hearing this, Secretary Gao becomes even more worried. Hanmin's top brass are all extremely cunning. The situation has spiraled beyond their control. Therefore, she does not intend to accept Jinbao's proposal to cooperate. But unexpectedly, as soon as Secretary Gao opens the door, Xiao Chun is discovered by the dorm supervisor. Due to the rules, the supervisor demands that the two women find another place for Xiao Chun. Not wanting to cause trouble for the two aunties, the sensible Xiao Chun decides to return to the children's welfare home. However, under the current harsh circumstances, the welfare home is almost completely full. Jinbao cannot stand by and do nothing. She vows that until Meishu recovers, she will be Xiao Chun's guardian. That night, Jinbao takes Xiao Chun to her parents' fried chicken shop, asking her parents to look after the girl for a few days. Her parents take a liking to the bright and lovely Xiao Chun. Finally, the girl has a temporary place to stay. Tonight, Secretary Gao comes to say goodbye to Jinbao. She plans to leave the company, to leave this terrible environment, but on the way, scenes of her time with her roommates keep flashing before Secretary Gao's eyes. Only at this moment does Secretary Gao realize that this dorm has given her so much warmth. Carrying this feeling in her heart, Secretary Gao resolutely turns back to the dorm and agrees to Jinbao's theft plan. Jinbao carefully analyzes Hanmin's current shareholding situation for Secretary Gao. Simply put, Hanmin is a family-owned business, with all shares held by the family. Jinbao plans to first steal the secret funds, then buy up Hanmin's shares, and then wrest control of the chairman's management rights, while simultaneously thwarting Dingyu's scheme to take over Hanmin. In this way, Hanmin can be saved, and countless employees can be protected. Secretary Gao shakes Jinbao's hand with a determined look. This battle can't go on without her. Next, according to the plan, Jinbao applies for a leave of absence, while Secretary Gao seeks out Sister Apple. Sister Apple is indispensable to this plan. Under Jinbao and Secretary Gao's instruction, Sister Apple disguises herself as Jinbao, puts on a mask, and takes a day's shift in Jinbao's place. After finishing the shift, Sister Apple contacts her mother, Mrs. Jiang, to come to the company in order to keep Chief Song, who manages the secret funds, occupied. Taking this opportunity, Jinbao goes to various banks to withdraw funds from the accounts. However, the last bank has stricter risk controls, requiring confirmation from Chief Song for the fund withdrawal. Jinbao is on edge. Meanwhile, at the company, Chief Song suddenly suggests that he and Mrs. Jiang talk in her office. As the office phone begins to ring, Jinbao, Secretary Gao, and Sister Apple immediately fall into a panic. Kim Bo and her roommate, Secretary Ko, join forces to embezzle secret funds. But when it comes to the final step of withdrawing the money, the bank, to be safe, calls Chief Song to confirm whether the fund withdrawal is legitimate. Just at that moment, Chief Song has just finished a conversation with Apple's mother, Mrs. Kang. Seeing that the chief is about to return to the office, he receives a call from the bank manager. At this critical juncture, Apple stands at the door, loudly complaining about her own situation, trying to buy time. Seizing the opportunity, Secretary Ko disguises herself as Chief Song and answers the call, falsely claiming that the fund withdrawal has been confirmed. Yi Young finally relaxes. At night, Kim Bo brings the embezzled secret funds to Secretary Ko. She has converted all of them into checks. The urgent task now is to cash the checks as quickly as possible. Fortunately, Secretary Ko has connections. She takes Kimbo to a financial institution, successfully exchanging the checks for a large sum of cash. They then return to the dormitory, carrying suitcases stuffed with cash. Although this is already a large amount, Kimbo knows full well that compared to the chairman's vast secret fund pool, this is just a drop in the bucket. At the same time, Jung-woo unexpectedly discovers that Apple has disguised herself as Kimbo and taken her place at work. The next day, he calls both of them in for a talk, demanding an explanation. Kimbo is certain that Jung-woo won't dare to cause trouble, so she remains neither humble nor pushy, steadfastly refusing to give a direct answer. Since Apple, the heir of Hanmin, is also present, Jung-woo cannot press further. He has to let it go for now. To thank Apple for her help, Kimbo keeps her promise, handing over Chun's address to her, and they agree to have a meal together with the roommates another day. That night, Apple follows the address and finds the fried chicken shop, finally meeting Chun, whom she has missed for days. Kimbo continues her undercover operation. The next day, she meets with the supervisor from the supervisory office, revealing a brand new plan to use the embezzled secret funds to buy up all of Hanmin's shares, preventing Jung-woo from teaming up with an investment firm to stage a hostile takeover of Hanmin. The supervisor warns Kimbo to be cautious. He has already looked into it. The investment firm behind Jung-woo is no small matter. It is the mastermind behind the hostile takeovers of several companies in recent years. Kimbo is also convinced that Jung-woo came as the president to gain close access to Hanmin's internal information. Since stepping back is no longer possible, Kimbo decides to go all out. Amid the financial crisis, countless companies are going bankrupt one after another. Recently, the pirate site has released news, claiming that the next to collapse will be Hanmin. Secretary Ko is somewhat worried. They haven't gotten their hands on the remaining secret funds. If Hanmin goes under before that, they will have worked for nothing. Kimbo, however, is extremely calm. Currently, Arang's father and Apple's mother are fighting tooth and nail for their children's inheritance rights. After all, no one is interested in a company about to go bankrupt. As the chairman's grandson, Arang is not very interested in fighting for the inheritance. Moreover, Arang assesses the situation and believes that in this battle for succession, he has fallen behind. It turns out that recently, the chairman has been holding frequent family dinners, and each time Jung-woo is invited, as Apple's fiancé, Kimbo cheers Arang on. If Arang can win the inheritance rights, he will then have the authority to reorganize the crisis management department and bring back Director Bang, who was fired. Kimbo's words indeed shake Arang. If he can rise to the top, both Director Bang and Kimbo, everyone he cares about can be protected. At this critical moment, Arang goes to visit Director Bang. After resigning, Director Bang makes a living by running a street stall. Arang asks Director Bang for advice on rising to the top, but Director Bang simply tells Arang to buy some kimbap from his stall. For him now, making a living is what matters most. Director O is actively helping his son rise to the top. He starts posting rumors on the pirate site, smearing Mrs. Kang. While posting, however, Director O notices a special post that exposes the backroom connection between Hanmin and the investment firm. After hearing about this from Director O, Jung-woo immediately orders the site to be shut down. Soon Kimbo discovers that the pirate site has been closed. But Yeouido is indeed a magical place. Just a few days later, the site proudly reopens. The one who restores the site is the captain, the founder of the pirate site. The captain posts a must-read announcement, warning that if the site's operation continues to be obstructed, he will reveal the detailed contents of Hanmin's secret funds. Attached to the post are the names of several companies. Kimbo realizes that these are exactly the Hanmin shell companies she had investigated before, and the captain, who knows such information, must be an insider at Hanmin. Since the captain also knows about the secret funds, Kimbo and Secretary Ko believe that the enemy of my enemy is my friend. They should try to recruit the captain to jointly steal the remaining secret funds. The problem is, who exactly is this mysterious captain? Soon the captain exposes another internal confidential document of Hanmin on the pirate site. To stop the situation from worsening, Director O orders team leader Cha to find the captain at all costs and thoroughly check whether the site has been hacked. Secretary Ko thinks it's unlikely to be a hacker. According to his analysis, the exposed internal document passed through the hands of 5 people, including himself. In other words, the captain is among these 5. Secretary Ko naturally excludes himself. Also, the pirate site was created a year ago, when Jung-woo was still abroad, so he is unlikely to be the captain. Little Lee, from the same department, was with Kimbo in the break room when the post was made, so he couldn't have posted it either. That leaves only 2 suspects, Arang and the annoying team leader Cha. To test which of the 2 is the captain, Kimbo deliberately places 2 budget proposal documents that look identical, but have different data, on Arang's and team leader Cha's desks, respectively. Sure enough, the captain takes the bait. Soon, the document is exposed on the pirate site. After verifying the specific data of the document, Kimbo immediately realizes the captain's true identity. That night, Kimbo and Secretary Ko work together, neatly kidnapping Arang, directly accusing him of being the captain. The data uploaded to the pirate site matches exactly the data from the document Kim Bo placed on Arang's desk. At this point, Arang has no choice but to admit, yes, he is the captain. Arang also reveals that Little Lee from the department is his crewmate partner. Under Kim Bo's questioning, Arang slowly tells the whole story. It turns out he is not just a playboy obsessed with movies. After taking over the crisis management department, Arang decided to investigate the truth behind his uncle President Kang's death. Meanwhile, the hacking genius Little Lee caught his attention. At Arang's suggestion, Little Lee agreed to team up. Later, using his computer skills, he successfully built the pirate site. Thus, Arang became the site's captain. After learning the truth, Kim Bo asks about the secret funds, wanting to know how Arang and Little Lee found out about them and posted about them. Arang explains that they actually know nothing about the scale or whereabouts of the secret funds. That post was just a reorganization of things President Kang had said when drunk. After confirming that Arang is not a villain, Kim Bo finally lets him go. Unexpectedly, later that night, Arang comes to see Kim Bo again and, to her surprise, speaks her real name, revealing that Kim Bo is an investigator from the Securities Supervisory Office. That evening, Arang was followed and subdued by the auto repair shop owner. The man questioned him about his relationship with Kim Bo. Arang lied and got past him, but afterwards grew suspicious. He started searching for Kim Bo's name on the pirate site and had someone investigate. That's how he confirmed Kim Bo's undercover identity. Kim Bo admits the truth, explaining her mission to investigate the secret funds, and asks Arang to keep her secret. At the same time, Kim Bo boldly proposes cooperation, hoping that Arang will transfer all of Hanmin's shares to her. Kim Bo believes Arang would not want his secret identity as the captain to be exposed. Arang agrees, but in exchange, Kim Bo must help him uncover the truth behind his uncle President Kang's death. After they decide to cooperate, Arang and Little Lee come to the new apartment where Kim Bo and Secretary Ko have moved. There, Kim Bo reveals the first step of the plan to Arang. They need to steal the remaining secret funds, and the manager of those funds is none other than Arang's father, Director O. Secretary Kim Bo-go is determined to cooperate with Arang to steal all of the Hanmin Group's secret funds, then acquire shares to become a major shareholder. Only then can he protect the company and the tens of thousands of Hanmin employees. The custodian of these secret funds is Arang's father, Director O. Even though he is his own father, Arang remains unwavering, ready to place righteousness above family loyalty. He cannot let someone like his father control Hanmin. Today, Arang goes to see his father, deliberately indicating that his father has hidden too many things from him. Hearing this, Director O confesses a secret to his son. In recent years, under the chairman's instructions, he has been helping politicians manage illicit political funds that need to be concealed. Kim Bo decides to get his hands on this money and use it to seize Director O's shares. However, Director O is shrewd and cautious, not easily trusting others. Fortunately, Kim Bo has extensive experience in the securities and finance industry. Kim Bo produces a book on financial crime history compiled by a supervisor from the Supervisory Service, which contains research cases of various types of financial crimes in South Korea, including the old currency scam. In that scam, a group of fraudsters tricked victims into money laundering, having the victims exchange 6 billion won in old banknotes for 4.2 billion won in new banknotes, thereby easily earning a 30% commission. Kim Bo plans to learn from this case, to lure Director O into the trap. A couple of days ago, at the financial institution where checks are exchanged, Kim Bo casually asked a favor, to help raise 5 billion won in old banknotes. Those old banknotes are now in the apartment. The first step of the operation is to spread the rumor about old banknotes all over Yeouido. For this, Kim Bo needs the help of the Supervisory Service supervisor. After learning of Kim Bo's plan, the supervisor immediately agrees to help. Soon, as planned, he approaches the big-mouth team leader at the Supervisory Service and deliberately leaks the information about the old banknotes to him. As expected, the team leader turns around and informs Director O of the tip. Director O does not believe it, feeling that this kind of operation seems like a scam. But the big-mouth team leader keeps whispering in his ear, and Director O's heart begins to waver. Seeing Director O's state of mind, Kim Bo and his team use a voice changer to call him the next day, claiming they want to discuss a deal of exchanging old banknotes for new ones, promising a 50% commission. Still, the cautious Director O is reluctant to trust easily. Fortunately, Kim Bo has a secret weapon, the secret fund ledger left by Soyi. The ledger records the list of politicians whose secret funds are being held, along with account balances. Now on the phone, Kim Bo reads out the names on the list one by one, falsely claiming these are his major clients. Hearing this, Director O's resolve wavers once more. As Kim Bo expected, the overly cautious Director O starts to verify the information. He deliberately takes Jung-woo along to meet the Supervisory Service supervisor, trying to get information out of him. Naturally, the supervisor continues the deception as planned, pretending to be serious when mentioning the matter, declaring that this phenomenon is disrupting the market. Hearing the information directly from the Securities Supervisory Service, Director O's remaining doubts finally fade away. Driven by the desire for high commissions, next time, the greedy Director O agrees to the money laundering deal over the phone. On the other end, Kim Bo and his team have already prepared, loading a whole box of old banknotes into a vehicle, planning to place the old notes at the agreed location, and then take the new notes left by Director O. At night, Director O goes to the transaction location. After seeing with his own eyes the large amount of new notes in the trunk, he finally believes everything is real. Little does he know that not far away, his son Arang is watching his every move. The next day at the company, Director O is still in high spirits. With just a simple flip, he has easily earned a 500 million won commission. Soon afterward, Kim Bo and his team send a letter to Director O under the name K, hoping to proceed with a second transaction. This time, they set the transaction amount at 10 billion won. With a 50% commission on 10 billion won, Director O would receive 5 billion won in one go. The director is insatiable, but the amount this time is too large. To be safe, the director demands a face-to-face transaction. Kim Bo agrees. After setting the meeting time and place, Director O goes to a branch of Hanmin Bank and asks the branch manager to transfer 10 billion won to him, planning to return the money to the bank once he gets the commission. That night, Director O brings the 10 billion won in old notes and goes alone. Kim Bo and his team are ready. They put on black clothes, wear masks, and are fully armed to meet Director O. After confirming that the money the director brought is correct, they lead him to several large boxes filled with cash. With excitement, Director O loads the enormous fortune into his car. Now, he just needs to pocket the 5 billion won commission and return the 10 billion won principal to the bank within one day, and the transaction will be undetectable. Unexpectedly, when he tries to pack the commission into the boxes, Director O is shocked to find that the boxes, supposed to be stacked with cash, are actually filled with bricks. Realizing he has been scammed, Director O is overcome with regret, rolling on the ground and crying out in frustration. Meanwhile, Kim Bo and his team successfully obtain Director O's 10 billion won. Arang is certain that his father will never report it to the police, but will definitely try to clean up the mess by any means. Kim Bo reminds Arang that in the next act, he is the main character. Nervous and uneasy after the failure, Director O goes to see Jung-woo. He thinks about borrowing 10 billion won from Jung-woo, but on second thought, Jung-woo would probably not lend him the money. Hesitating, Director O instead asks Jung-woo if he knows about a financial fraudster codenamed K. Hearing about this, Jung-woo immediately meets with the supervisory service supervisor. During their conversation, he mentions K and promises to help Kim Bo catch this guy, hoping that Kim Bo will then return to the supervisory service for work. In Jung-woo's view, Hanmin is like a dying tree. If so, Kim Bo doesn't need to put himself in danger. The supervisor then tells Jung-woo about an incident from the past. 9 years ago, the supervisor's younger brother worked at an accounting firm. Back then, together with Hanmin, he participated in a fraud case. Afterward, the brother chose to die. To this day, the supervisor still regrets that when his brother made his last phone call, the supervisor did not offer comfort, but instead kept hurling abuse at him. Indeed, the supervisor was worried about his brother, but he was even more afraid of being implicated himself. That incident became the supervisor's eternal regret. The supervisor believes Jung-woo has similar regrets. Indeed, like the supervisor, 9 years ago, Jung-woo abandoned his lover Kim Bo to save himself. The supervisor reminds Jung-woo not to leave himself with another lifelong regret. Kim Bo is talking with Arang. Arang hesitates. After all, the one who will bear the consequences is his own father. Kim Bo sincerely reassures him, no matter what choice you make, as long as you follow your heart, don't let your future self regret it. Kim Bo's words put Arang at ease. Later, Arang goes to see his father, Director O. The bank has already called to urge him, and the director is worried about how to repay the 10 billion won he lost. Under Arang's questioning, the director confesses the whole story to his son. Arang takes the opportunity to persuade his father, just return the money before the chairman finds out. For now, Director O's only bargaining chip is the 9% of shares he holds. Arang urges his father to sell the shares, to put out the immediate fire, promising that once he becomes the successor, he will definitely give his father more shares. In his desperation, Director O grasps at any straw and has no choice but to trust his son. Meanwhile, Kim Bo and his team have already registered an investment company and coordinated with Arang in advance, setting a time so that, as soon as Director O sells his shares, Kim Bo will immediately buy them. In an instant, almost all of Director O's shares end up with Kim Bo. However, no wall is without a crack. Secretly, Chief Song has been monitoring Director O's movements. Based on the wiretapped information, he quickly discovers that the director has sold his shares. Team leader Cha assists Chief Song in the investigation and learns that Director O now holds only 1 share of Hanmin. Chief Song is shocked. Sensing something wrong, the chief immediately orders a full audit of all secret fund accounts. As a result, he discovers that the enormous secret funds that had been transferred into Kim Bo's name have all been withdrawn. Director Song received news from the garage owner. Shocked, the director demanded that the branch manager be brought in. The garage owner immediately brought the branch manager. After looking at the photo, the branch manager confirmed that it was indeed Jin Bao in the photo who had withdrawn the funds. The garage owner, who works as an enforcer, recognized Jin Bao from the photo. He suspected that Jin Bao might be the inspector from the supervisory office, who had helped A Lang escape from the garage a few days earlier. To confirm his suspicion, the garage owner visited Jin Bao's family's fried chicken shop as a customer. That very evening, Jin Bao's younger sister had skipped class from her boarding school. Jin Bao's mother scolded the younger daughter for not listening to her sister and studying hard. Jin Bao's father, unsuspecting, mentioned to the customer his eldest daughter, who worked on Yeouido and whom he was so proud of. Based on this, the garage owner was convinced of his judgment. Jin Bao must have stolen her younger sister's identity. After confirming the facts, Director Song panicked. Additionally, the branch manager had revealed to her the night before that when Jin Bao withdrew the funds, someone had impersonated the director and answered the phone. Thinking that Jin Bao was connected to Secretary Gao's situation, Director Song suspected that Secretary Gao was Jin Bao's accomplice. The director summoned Secretary Gao and warned her not to pick the wrong side, and not to be ungrateful to her, the one who had promoted her. However, as soon as she turned around, Secretary Gao told Jin Bao about her conversation with the director, as well as A Lang and the other companions. But she also knew that by now, Jin Bao would never back down. Jin Bao was at the hospital looking after her roommate Meishu. Meishu had finally woken up the night before. After surviving her brush with death, Meishu felt guilty about her suicide attempt, believing she had caused Jin Bao and the other roommates too much trouble. Jin Bao didn't mind. Instead, she encouraged Meishu to cheer up. After she was discharged, she could help out at her parents' fried chicken shop and take care of her daughter Xiao Chun. Later that evening, Director Song came to the hospital and revealed Jin Bao's identity as an inspector. Since things had come to this, Jin Bao did not deny it. Instead, she remained calm and composed, her gaze firm. Furious, Director Song grabbed Jin Bao and slammed her hard against the wall, angrily accusing her of stealing the secret funds. Jin Bao turned the tables and subdued the director. The director continued to scream that she could eliminate Jin Bao at any time. But Jin Bao, unafraid, advised the director to worry about herself first. If the chairman found out about the stolen funds, the director would be in even more trouble than her. Jin Bao even tried to turn the tables completely, admitting to the director that Ding Yu had teamed up with an investment company to try to take over Hanmin. She proposed that if the director could help her eliminate Ding Yu, she would return all the money intact. Just as Jin Bao had predicted, Director Song did not dare to report the truth to the chairman. But at the same time, from Mrs. Jiang, the director accidentally discovered that Jin Bao was Ding Yu's ex-girlfriend. Ding Yu learned from an informant that someone had recently been buying up Hanmin stock. Ding Yu went to Director Cha to find out more. Director Cha had a big mouth, and soon leaked to Ding Yu the fact that Director Wu was selling his shares. He had also found out that the individual investor buying Director Wu's shares was Jin Bao. Ding Yu immediately confronted Jin Bao, demanding to know why she was buying Hanmin's stock. Jin Bao honestly replied that it was to stop Ding Yu and the investment company from eroding Hanmin. Furthermore, Jin Bao bet that between herself and Ding Yu would be the first to be kicked out of the company. Unexpectedly, Sister Apple overheard their conversation. Thus, Sister Apple learned of Ding Yu's intentions. While explaining himself to his fiancée, Sister Apple, Ding Yu mentioned that if Hanmin discovered Jin Bao's undercover operation, Jin Bao would be in danger. Sister Apple asked Ding Yu if he still had feelings for Jin Bao. Thinking of the past, Ding Yu answered no. He did not miss the old relationship, only felt regret for the past. Sister Apple then spoke with Jin Bao. She had already realized that Jin Bao and Secretary Gao were hiding something from her. Jin Bao did not deny it, only stressed that as the chairman's daughter, Sister Apple was in a special position and could not be involved in this plan. Sister Apple had already learned about the secret funds from Ding Yu, but she promised she would never betray the sisters. Recently, the chairman planned to restructure the company, and a large number of employees would be transferred to branch offices. Ding Yu added Jin Bao's name to the list of employees to be restructured. Thus, Jin Bao was transferred. Director Song grew increasingly nervous. Her top priority now was to find the secret funds stolen by Jin Bao. The garage owner reported to Director Song that Jin Bao's life revolved around 3 places. She had only been to the company, the apartment, and the dormitory. The director concluded that the money must be hidden in the dormitory, and ordered the garage owner to start searching Jin Bao's dormitory. Jin Bao and Secretary Gao were on their way back to the dormitory. Before using the money, Jin Bao stated that, including Ding Yu, they must first remove the people the chairman trusted. Otherwise, if something happened, those people would become pawns against them. Meanwhile, inside the dormitory, the garage owner was sneaking around searching. Just then, Jin Bao and Secretary Gao walked in. The man tried to ambush Jin Bao. Fortunately, Jin Bao was quick-witted. She deftly took out a lighter from her bag and made as if to set the cash in front of her on fire. At the same time, Secretary Gao rushed to the hallway and pressed the fire alarm. As the alarm blared, the garage owner had no choice but to flee. After the man escaped, Secretary Gao cried out in distress. Although she loved money more than the cash in the dormitory, she was worried about Jin Bao's safety. Jin Bao recognized the garage owner and realized that Director Song must have sent him. Despite being transferred, the next day, Jin Bao did not obediently leave. Instead, she appeared before Director Song with her employment contract, declaring that her transfer was an unfair personnel decision. Then Jin Bao again mentioned her previous cooperation proposal and handed the director a recording disc. After listening, the director became certain of Ding Yu's ambition to take over Hanmin. Jin Bao reminded Director Song that if Hanmin fell into Ding Yu's hands, the director, as the chairman's right-hand person, would be the first to be purged. But if the director struck first, she could gain the perfect advantage. The director was still uneasy and mentioned Jin Bao's former relationship with Ding Yu. Jin Bao spoke calmly. All she was doing now was playing her cards, with the sole goal of winning the game. After weighing the options, the director agreed to cooperate with Jin Bao. Soon, she informed the chairman of Ding Yu's ambitions and explained the pros and cons to him as Jin Bao had suggested, believing that the investment company working with Ding Yu would ultimately abandon him to protect itself. The next day, the chairman met with the head of the investment company and brought up the plan he had made with Ding Yu, threatening that he could make the company lose everything in the investment market. As expected, to protect itself, the head of the company decisively abandoned Ding Yu and chose to cooperate with the Hanmin group instead. Following that, the chairman confronted Ding Yu, hinting that he should resign voluntarily and also break off the engagement with his daughter. Sister Apple's engagement ceremony was that very day. The unsuspecting Mrs. Jiang was busy preparing the engagement party, but Ding Yu did not show up. Later, Sister Apple received a call from Ding Yu and learned about the broken engagement. Suddenly, Sister Apple, who had dreamed of being a princess, burst into tears in the car. That night, with nowhere else to go, Sister Apple came to the dormitory. Because she had climbed over the wall to get in, her pretty white dress was all dirty. Jin Bao and Secretary Gao changed Sister Apple into clean clothes, but at the same time, Sister Apple discovered the huge pile of cash filling the dormitory. Jin Bao confessed the source of the money and said that in Sister Apple's account, there was also a large sum of secret funds, which were currently in Switzerland. Later, Mrs. Jiang came to the dormitory to pick up her daughter. Thinking about what her sisters had said, Sister Apple quietly made a decision. She would go to Switzerland to help her sisters steal the remaining secret funds. With the engagement called off, Ding Yu lost power and left the company in disgrace. Director Song reminded Jin Bao to fulfill her promise and return the secret funds. But instead, Jin Bao handed the director a shareholding certificate, showing that Jin Bao now owned 9% of Hanmin's shares. Furthermore, Jin Bao resolutely submitted her resignation. Realizing she had been unilaterally used, Director Song flew into a rage. Jin Bao spoke with Ding Yu in the elevator and asked him to meet that evening at their familiar street stall. When they met, Jin Bao got straight to the point. She needed an M&A expert to help her win management rights, and the expert she had chosen was Ding Yu. End of episode. Welcome to like and leave a comment.